Back in full effect. New album hot off the presses. Casual and Albert Jenkins. Stardust of the EP. Let me share this video out as we listen to these bars. Let me just show you something. No, I ain't showing you nothing. But let's listen to this and get this show popping.
Just rolling up the weed, ladies stop by my page when they scrolling up they feed. So I block the young chicks that ain't old enough for trees, but I like whatever comment that they bold enough to leave. Rappers follow me cause rhymes from my catalog read like an intergalactic battle log. Satellite feed to the spaceship. When traveling, my documents are placed in the basement of the Vatican. When scientists try to duplicate my rhyme patterns, to do this they must lubricate the mind matter and find data to match the kind that I dispatch. I lace rhymes in the fabric of space-time. To meet you, I'm traveling back. Plenty of nights for him like Phineas when he stabbed that Midianite whore with the javelin. That's in the Torah. I'm in the morning just recording for the art of slaughter. I told the king to pay tribute and he brought his daughter. Exotic trees in my horticulture, fly aeronautic products for the vultures. Raps hidden in imported sculptures. Got my custom broker scrambling to meet me at the border open. Connect got money to lobby to keep the border open. You ain't got no rhymes or no style neither. Cats get confused, heard more lines than wild zebras. Yo. Hey yo, you couldn't imagine the colors in my kaleidoscope. The effervescent essence provided by my exotic folk. Regarded of how you plotted on nautical wavelengths and brought it from the basement to the pavement. The same shit as astrologists and astrophysicists. The love and knowledge of a lyricist is serious. The theory is mysteriously furious periods of time that it took. Fuck that, y'all ain't hearing it. If I'm capping on the track is the capstone of the pyramid. I'm an expert and it's an experiment. Dropping metaphors is my favorite thing. I rock fly jewels, think David Slingshot.
Yeah, I said it. Here's a couple of nice guys. Here's a bad. They original. Word up.
We're playing that again. Listen to them lyrics, boy.
Just rolling up the weed, ladies stop by my page when they scrolling up they feed. So I block the young chicks that ain't old enough for trees, but I like whatever comment that they bold enough to leave. Rappers follow me cause rhymes from my catalog read like an intergalactic battle log. Satellite feed to the spaceship. When traveling, my documents are placed in the basement of the Vatican. When scientists try to duplicate my rhyme patterns, to do this they must lubricate the mind matter and find data to match the kind that I dispatch. I lace rhymes in the fabric of space-time. To meet you, I'm traveling back. Plenty of nights for him like Phineas when he stabbed that Midianite whore with the javelin. That's in the Torah. I'm in the morning just recording for the art of slaughter. I told the king to pay tribute and he brought his daughter. Exotic trees in my horticulture, fly aeronautic products for the vultures. Raps hidden in imported sculptures. Got my custom broker scrambling to meet me at the border open. Connect got money to lobby to keep the border open. You ain't got no rhymes or no style neither. Cats get confused, heard more lines than wild zebras. Yo. Hey yo, you couldn't imagine the colors in my kaleidoscope. The effervescent essence provided by my exotic folk. Regarded of how you plotted on nautical wavelengths and brought it from the basement to the pavement. The same shit as astrologists and astrophysicists. The love and knowledge of a lyricist is serious. The theory is mysteriously furious periods it's a time that it took. Fuck that, y'all ain't hearing it. If I'm capping on the track, it's the capstone of the pyramid. I'm an expert and it's an experiment. Dropping metaphors is my favorite thing. I rock fly Jews, think David slingshot.
Damn. Ooh, you call it getting better with time, man. Shout out to anybody who tapped in already. We're gonna try to have us another cool little show. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully they get my things out, but I'm playing something that's new content right up on, so I hope they ain't blocking me up. But I see somebody right there in the chat. What's up, Ubin Ra? Shine, boy. What's up, Ubin? Well, Ben. Yeah, this was me and Albert Jenkins working together on this right here. It just came out. Let's see what else we got. There's some good songs on there, man. Okay. Oh, let me go to the album.
Overflow. I'm in a prominent position. No premonition of an ominous condition is stopping this. The mental operative I'm rocking with. My thoughts outnumber the populace of any modern metropolis. You can't topple us. The tech here, that's the obelisk inscribed with the hieroglyph that some have a problem with. I read hieroglyphs quick like a pyroflix bits. Catch a bullet, it ain't a spiral from Mike Vick. I write shit that's frightening despite my heightened sense of enlightenment. Been designated and celebrated as educated, dedicated. This is the premise that rap God is predicated upon. I meditated upon it, it's well calculated. I salivated when I stated all the gods have been amalgamated into one. Consider it though, when in translation, monotheism was presupposed and superimposed on the biblical literature. They mumbling, they babbling, they can babble on. It's like they've been exiled to Babylon. Sagittarius or Capricorn, the zodiac a month off. All the rappers know him for spitting miraculous poems. College students listen to him in the back of the dorms. In fact, I've been informed that this is a norm for people studying linguistics. No surreal mystics, I'm realistic and really revealing my real interests and intentions.
I'm the only one putting that shit out for us, man. Fuck that shit. Because we studying linguistics, we doing all this shit, you need something to listen to.
The dialect that I select is from the west of the U.S. Forget top 5, who the best in the U.S.? Us. I always spit the truest stuff. We gon' do this, the pursuit is tough, but I'm ready for it. It's gon' take hard work, they already know it. Pops prepared me for it. 10 in the morning, I'm already blowing. Trying to get some money, and this partner got fatty for it. It's the ways of the world. Yeah, the stage is your world. You should've stayed with your girl. The book of life when the pages unfurl is outrageous. Living without wages. But you keep a millionaire on your playlist. Too many black men getting locked up in cages, fam. Thought about it when I made this jam. I said, damn. It seems like
Yeah, shout out to Albert Jenkins. He be having me in the cut. Cass be keeping me in the cut. All my hip-hop people who keep me in the cut. Yeah, I definitely know they must be cock blocking on this show right now. Not letting the stream go out, but it's cool. What's up with y'all? Shout out to Ubin Ra. He said he gonna cop on payday. Yeah, that's a limited vinyl release. I just been lazy. I got a little bit of time on my hands. I might do a little bit of studying. But since I like to play music in the beginning of the video, I thought I might share that for y'all. Hopefully y'all can enjoy some of that. There's some blap on there. So they got this on my page? Oh, that's interesting. Let me see if I can not play music so they can let some people roll in for a minute. Let me see. What's up? Kind of messed me up. When I was looking at earlier today, I think we was looking at a lot of texts pertaining to the Hyksos period, the Shashu, and the Hyksos. Watch that video if you can, because it's kind of cool. Let me see. But yeah, that's Kyle's one, Albert Jenkins, Starduster. And we got a show in open on what? January 16th. But it ain't really in the system yet. It seems like, there it goes, Stardust. That's cool though. So what's up? What's been going on? I only finished playing that. I just was pausing for a minute. It's only like 3-4 songs. I already played 2 of them. It was an EP. I could dedicate this to someone else right here.
Life is like a one-way street. Yeah, some may eat, others still trying to get on their feet. We live through what we spit on the beat. We speak life. Most who rap about death or decease. Man has confidence in the weapon he keeps. The wrong move, you can put yourself in jeopardy deep. Most men don't prepare for defeat. The word of the day is real. It's like Sesame Street. Sometimes when a man got a message he preaches, I ain't religious, but I listen to the lesson he teaches. They call it fate when our destiny reaches. And most of the time for rappers, it be something that he said through the speakers. And often that'll seal the deal. My legendary commentary on the game like Shaquille O'Neal. Everybody want mass appeal, but don't fake it till you make it just. And they do it for likes. Social media can ruin your life. Be faking frontin' for some folks you never knew in your life. Look at him now, about to post what he doing tonight. She flew in on a flight from the Philippines. Hairdo sharper than the blade on the guillotine. Reputation like Goliath the Philistine. And she take care of her kids, that's the realest thing. Take care of yourself, they try and kill us, king. I read glyphs, I can tell you what the writing on the pillars mean. We bust moves, cats pump faking, acting like they ready and then they can't make it. I can't take it when cats be fake. I be out like catch me later. On the real, you gotta deal with yourself if no one else. At least be real with yourself. Sometimes you just gotta be real. Ain't no sense in fronting this. How talking to a psychologist feels. You gotta acknowledge the truth you're trying to conceal. Is how giving an apology feels. Just don't romanticize or fantasize. It is what it is till it's glamorized. Then it seems bigger. You gotta scheme quicker. Forget all that. Just don't let the ill thoughts get with you. Keep your eyes on the big picture. Watch it close like your kid sister. It went down like that, that's how they did you. Shouldn't be real if it's incriminating. The judge and the jury, the lawyers can be intimidating. If their goal is to eliminate you, then it's no mandate to.
I don't even care. I'm gonna be one of them artists forcing something on you today because y'all didn't hear them lyrics. Listen harder. I don't do it often. We're gonna do it. I got time on my hands. Listen to what this song is about.
Life is like a one-way street. Yeah, some may eat, others still trying to get on their feet. We live through what we spit on the beat. We speak life. Most who rap about death or decease. Man has confidence in the weapon he keeps. The wrong move, you can put yourself in jeopardy deep. Most men don't prepare for defeat. The the word of the day is real. It's like Sesame Street. Sometimes when a man got a message he preaches, I ain't religious, but I listen to the lesson he teaches. They call it fate when our destiny reaches. And most of the time for rappers, it be something that he said through the speakers. And often that'll seal the deal. My legendary commentary on the game like Shaquille O'Neal. Everybody want mass appeal, but don't fake it till you make it just.
Yeah, we live right now, chillin'. The album just came out tonight, Casual, Albert Jenkins.
They stuntin' for the gram and they do it for likes. Social media could ruin your life. Be faking frontin' for some folks you never knew in your life. Look at him now, about to post what he doing tonight. She flew in on a flight from the Philippines. Hairdo sharper than the blade on the guillotine. Reputation like Goliath the Philistine. And she take care of her kids, that's the realest thing. Take care of yourself, they try and kill us, king. I read glyphs, I can tell you what the writing on the pillars mean. We bust moves, cats pump faking, acting like they ready and then they can't make it. I can't take it when cats be fake. I be out like catch me later. On the real, you gotta deal with yourself if no one else. At least be real with yourself. Sometimes you just gotta be real. Ain't no sense in frontin' this. How talking to a psychologist feels. You gotta acknowledge the truth you're trying to conceal. Is how giving an apology feels. Just don't romanticize or fantasize. It is what it is till it's glamorized. Then it seems bigger. You gotta scheme quicker. Forget all that. Just don't let the ill thoughts get with you. Keep your eyes on the big picture. Watch it close like your kid sister. It went down like that, that's how they did you. Shouldn't be real if it's incriminating. The judge and the jury, the lawyers can be intimidating. If their goal is to eliminate you, then it's no mandate to.
Albert Jenkins on the track. Just like that. So what's up? Shout out Patai. You say you working on something? I'm gonna play this last one. We're gonna keep it moving. Y'all must be headstrong, bruh. These dudes out here, you teach them some information, they just can't get it. I had to write a song about
They
it.
say I'm the best rapper. They paid me a few bones to get it cracking out. Said that's a stress fracture. Hannibal Lecter, extra double X texture. Stretch the lecture long. I bet you catch the next song unless you're just headstrong. Blowing, knowing half the time you dead wrong. Show 'em you're living in a realistic simulation where properties of physics were programmed by future generations. Studying past civilizations of the ancestors. Right now you in a body size test tube. You've been lobotomized and fed through a hollow cylinder that runs through a viscous fluid. Removing your skull with the strangest deranged doctor was a painless process, but the brain remained operative. We're just trying to tap into your conscious and give it away secrets. We're rapping with monsters at concerts with sponsors, paying to see me slam and had a crowd go bonkers, and then do an encore. This is trial by combat. All you hear is air sirens. We bomb that. You must just be headstrong. You must just be headstrong. Soul of a human that rhymes with the timing of solar and lunar alignments. Beyond your interplanetary confinements by eons. I've been a legendary design with the beat on you up. The Big Bang, it was a CPU boot up. How deep are you? Think of what we can do. Every mic I'm speaking to, the speaker's blue. I'm a sheep, rap over the head, and the sneakers new. Bible scholar, could have been a deacon or a preacher too. But I use music to amuse you when I'm reaching you. It's just a muse while I'm teaching you.
All right, come on. That was cool to listen to. You know what I'm saying? I ain't heard that in a minute. I recorded that and was waiting for that to come out. It just came out cool. Got some time on my hands. Now I can study. That's just how that works. In the Course of Egypt and the Genetics, new show on Amazon Prime. Okay. Can't give them no promotion though, but I feel you. They need to pay for that. All right, what's up? Don't have me go straight to the metal netter. Don't have me go straight to the metal netter. I'm gonna make some songs. He's like, oh, don't let that creative vibe come through chilling. That's the glory of my life. You see? All right. The Nubian mercenaries of Ghibelline during the first intermediate period. Shout out to Europe for putting the light on them. It says, introduction, since Henry Fisher recognized a specific type of Nubian mercenary stelae from Ghibelline, Reziqua region, dated in the first intermediate period in his paper, The Nubian Mercenaries of Ghibelline in the first intermediate period. So instead of you talking about the paper, can we get the paper out? Now, if I put this in YouTube, let's see what's on it. All right, you see, I pop up first. Who else? So ain't nobody on the Nubians and Ghibelline. So I'm probably going to do that whole video tomorrow or something. But if I popped it in I put it on the address bar, it don't matter. And I'm going to see what they bring, if they can bring us back this artist. Talking about Nubians in the first intermediate period, I don't know how much energy I got. I just woke up, but I don't know if I'm ready to do a long late night show or not. I really want to let some people know that their album was out and keep going. Yeah, ain't nothing coming up. It's just spinning. They spinning. Remember when the spinning rims came out? And they had that one commercial or something. They spinning. I think it was a Dave Chappelle or a Chris Rock skit. They spinning. They spinning. They spinning. Who remember that about the rims? Now, what I look like I just downloaded, it was supposed to be a PDF, but it's labeled over here like an application. See, that's how people get got. And that's what I'm not going to do. Throw that away, bro. All right. I don't like that. It must just be headstrong. The Nubian mercenaries of Ghibelline during the first intermediate period, in the light of the recent field research. Yeah, that's the same one I just was reading. See, this only going to be 2 pages, so forget it. I'm going to come and do a whole show on that. Right now, I ain't even tripping. Is it anything on the Nubian mercenaries on YouTube? If not, that's a whole nother video. See, somebody threw up Nubian mercenaries. He ain't do that right now. 204 views, 11 months. You can do that over. Nubian archers. Okay, look, Nubian archers will get you. They got into the millions views with the 3 years ago. Nubian archers, 22. Okay. Oh, y'all looking at this over here. This is just some data. I'm stepping my YouTube game up trying to understand some more stuff. Right? Exit pass. Whatever, man. Stuff over here glitching. YouTube hating them sending out the video because I was playing that new music.
Did you know that the Nubian mercenaries...
Every time I do that, they do that. So I ain't tripping. I'll take this time to learn something. Let me open up a book. I think I'll do J.P. Allen today. It said Little Egyptian, but you want Middle Egyptian. Yurik in the building. What's up? I was looking for the Nubians and Ghibelline, but I'm gonna do a show on that in a couple days. Sure. I'm gonna probably pick an easy lesson about this book and rock that whole lesson. Really, I like Our Lessons is the best. Right? All right, let's just do length real quick. Like, I know some people like, how you just gonna hop to length? Because we be talking about, well, yeah, I don't mind getting flagged for my own music because just to talk about it, there are multiple streams of income that you want, and if that's gonna come through my music stream, so anybody playing that music, they go out and collect it and bring it back through your music streams. I mean, you know, your music income. And I was even doing the test to see, I think it was actually better. The Peaceful High Soaks. Okay, yeah. Yeah, let's talk about that too. Whether that's something they made up or not. We also because we got times when they had different hike soak rulers that was like some beefing. But when they say peaceful hike soaks, I think they be talking about the way that some of the people amalgamated to the culture. I just came in here and came straight to and seen length real quick and just wanted to look over these glyphs. Right? So something is interesting here that the ancient Egyptian name for a river, Itru, is actually a measurement, 20,000 cubits. A stick or a rod is 100 cubits or 57 yards. May is a cubit. We always be saying a cubit. See? Just stop in the book and just do a different lesson real quick and update your pimping. Look. So now you know 7 palms. What is 7 palms? Is that your hand? 7 palms and 28 fingers. Bruh, it was 7 palms, 28 fingers long. What is this? Now, palm is a smaller unit of measurement. I should be saying that, what? I would say, shazep, Shezep. Shazep. And a jabah, you see one finger here, could also just be a cubit. I mean, 1/28 of a cubit. How they figured that out is crazy. There's only certain mathematical texts where we'd have to worry about that, and I wanted to go to something simple. There's some phenomenon in this neighborhood. Maybe somebody moved and just left a hell of dogs running around, dog. That shit was crazy, though. Today, when I was streaming, somebody tried to come get me another dog. Like, what the hell is going on here? Egyptian language and writing. Nope. I'm just up in it until y'all get ready to say what y'all talking about. Doing what I be doing. Reading the same books over and over and over. So let's just do this sentence for the fun of it. Maybe we'll take this whole page and put it into something where we can view it like that. Where we can work with it. Snip. Why should you learn to read the ancient African language? I don't know. If you're going to be talking about what happened, if you want to know what they said, good to try to learn. But you can see what other people say about it too. Hey, man, I hate when that happens. All right, so exercise 1. Below are 4 different hieroglyphic texts from real inscriptions. Write numbers next to the hieroglyphs in each one to show the order in which the signs are supposed to be read. Let's just do that. Very simple. Now, if you don't know the order in which the signs are supposed to be read, see what you can notice between the difference between line A and line B. I'll see how much I can blow this up. All right. Y'all notice any? I mean, I know, man, the people who be studying glyphs with me all the time, when I do these simple lessons and I ask the simple questions, it ain't necessarily intended for you. It's intended to see if we could bring new people into the fold with just the simple teachings. But we could break this whole everything down. But we'll start with one thing you'll probably notice from line A to line B is that the symbols are facing different directions. It's probably hard to tell unless you look at the symbols you can recognize. Like this bird, this chick bird is facing to the left. That one is too. That owl bird is too. You can clearly recognize that. This face is always facing towards you. It's one of the 2 faces that face towards you in the Meta Nature. This is one, and then the face of the owl is always looking at you. But if you notice here, the birds on this line are facing this direction. The people are, the snakes. So it's kind of letting us know where to start off. So in order to answer this correctly, below are 4 different hieroglyphic texts with real inscriptions. Write numbers next to the hieroglyphs in each one to show the order in which the signs are supposed to be read. We're going to try to do that. So if I could write, this would be a 1, right? What's going on? It's not going to let me do it. All right, this would be a 1. That would be a 2. And that's going to constitute the first word. Oh, dang, I got it like that. It's going to constitute the first word, so to speak. In this instance, this word is a particle, you. Unless you know a sentence is started. Now, we're going to go to the next word. And, dang. I started with 1 again. 2 for this glyph down here, sorry. 2, it's hard to write this, for that glyph down there that I'm drawing an arrow to. This is 3, the chick bird. 4. But the whole word goes all the way to, right? Let me show you where the word goes to. Not all the way to here. So, you notice they didn't transliterate this. And the word, I know that this is based on the word for shooting, right? But if you notice how when they put this determinative in the back, which lets us understand the category, we see the sun and these 3 things. This is why they got the sun disk rays. Because if you put the sun and then you think about shooting, we're shooting off the sun or the rays of the sun. And then they just going to take it further with the next word. It's hard for me to write. So this is the first one, 2, second glyph, third glyph, determinative. And that's just the atin right there, the at. So they don't got the atin in the translation. They have sun disk rays. Excuse me. That's what they get the sun disk rays from. Here go our preposition. M. I don't know this word they got for protection. But I mean, I probably could say it. Maybe it's then if I wanted to look this word up, see this crosses up this way. But that's their word for protection. I know the word ends right there because you see the 3 strokes. And then you have hairy, even though they put the 2 strokes next to the hair. They still translate over, hairy, over, suffix pronoun at, you. Right? Now y'all can kind of see where it start talking about their hands. But how do you get this out of that? And how would you transliterate this? This next word we about to show you right here. Well, I'm going to show you how. This is this. Let me show you. So I'm going to open up J Session and have some fun. I got some late night time. I'm streaming less often. Sometimes I get out there and just bust some moves. But I'm like, that ain't it. I'm about to build this channel. Oh, I got that door open. Damn, my bad. So let's come here. Let's see. That's like the hold. Maybe if I put a T on here, you could say DR is just going to give you hands too, right? But when you encounter it in the glyphs and the text, a lot of times they're going to be using it to say to hold something. The determinative will let you know. But see, like every time we're not going to have a determinative. Let's go look at the real instance we're talking about. Y'all see that hand? And then just the T? The R ain't there. So let's prove it with a dictionary. If I put DT, they might take me to some type of hands. DT. See? All right, look. Let's watch this. A handful. We'll see how they put the R in there. That's what I want you, because this is about a female calf. You confuse yourself. The determinative ain't the same. Right here, we also got this flesh determinative, so we know that ain't the one. But what I need you to understand is that they're putting the R in here that we're not seeing. Right? Here we go. So when you see just a D and a T and an U-chick, right? You got DRT transliterated. So this says, when we look at it, and we wanted to break it, JP Allen would be like, damn, I ain't teaching y'all shit. Y'all just stepped into class doing way too much. I'm going to go take an elementary. Somebody suggested I take a meta class. I always am humbled by a statement like that. I want to go take that class. The last meta class I took about 15 years ago, I was called to the front of the class and made to be the teacher because they was like acting like I was trying to answer too many questions. Why don't you just come up? And they did me like that. And I said, all right, walk my ass up there. I didn't know what I know now. So the word we just was talking about is this part of this whole box. If you look at the whole box, it has a suffix pronoun on it. So that's why it says their hands. Because this suffix pronoun is there. Now this word, her, I guess, is what they're using for holding. Now let me show you a term that y'all all heard, or you hear people say in the conscious community. NB. What word is that? Seneb. I don't want to connect them greens because you'll think they're the same thing. Seneb. That word is over here. Health. Y'all know the last word. Everybody know this last word. It's ankh. Life. Now, never mind their translation. Let's go back to see what we see. So this is just an introductory particle, a statement of fact. You. Now, I said this would be seti, but since I know I'm just looking at the root of the word, and I still would have got shooting sun, I would have still got sun rays, right? But I actually want to go see what is this word supposed to be transliterated as, and I might be right. So I'm going to say sun rays. I'm going to say right. So it's going to be on the sentence with right. All right, so, look, I was right. I'm 100% right. It's seti, right? Because the seti is to shoot. It comes from ta seti. They're the shooters. But I don't want to confuse you. This has a different determinative. So it's just the verb, the infinitive of shoot, to shoot. Now, what's shooting off the sun? Rays of light. So we would transliterate this in our homework, seti. Or you want to say setiet, fine. Setiet aten. If I say setiet aten, and you outside and it's sunny, what you gonna say? Well, I didn't make a complete sentence, so I probably was a dictionary medunecha. I should have probably said something more than that. If I just said setiet aten, at least you know I was talking about the sun rays, but that's not even the way you're supposed to say that. So that's one thing to the ancient Egyptians. Because this will be like shooting. So yeah, this is just this is one thing. The sun rays of the Aten. And then they are, if you think about it, sun rays are one thing. That ain't nothing. With this one, we start on this side. Right? But what's the whole word? Potetu? Oh, they got the words right here, so how about that? Let's have some fun. Oh, no, they don't. I don't know what this Tetsu word is. So if I see a word like this and I don't know what it is, Satechu, put an S, a capital T, and a W. And there you go right there. But this is just another way to say something like the same thing. I don't know what a sower is, but I know to impregnate, if they talking about like the sow seed, okay, then I know what a sower is. Right? But this say I was a servant. So let me show you this. They didn't translate this the way I would have. And let me see how I would have. Because if this is a sower, right, then we got a preposition of, right, or by, in. Then we got Bach, F, Bach, right, F, his workers. So they say his servant, his worker. Now, that's why I want to go up to this part. That's why I'm like, how they translate this, I'm about to prove it. And everybody who read the Metanet, somebody gonna say, no, this is probably, nah, man, I'm reading what I'm reading. So how could this mean up here? See, look, I'm just gonna bust them out. How does it mean to hold up here? And where's the word hold down here? Well, you probably could go look up this care tep, which would probably go together. Care tep F, and it'll probably be a title. But that don't really, it's kind of crazy. Well, what you would do is go to the dictionary. What I would do, care, and see if I can find that care tep F. See, it's gonna see. I definitely. All right, I think I will watch. With a tap after. See, it say the hold to carry below. It is gonna be a care tap. There go care tap. So this is a Chamberlain. I don't have to see all the head, all the symbols. Some people be like, oh, that thing ain't there. I'm like, bro, Reese, look at some primaries. The more primaries you look at, the less you think everything got to be there all the time. When we look at dictionaries and the TLA, then we start to think that. I ain't saying that like people don't look. I'm just saying that's why I get my inclination to know that everything that always got to be there. But this actually says hair tap knee suit, so this isn't a good instant of what I'm talking about. Right? I should use better examples when trying to say stuff like that. So here we got one right here. So we knew that's what was going on. So here it go right here. So now I'm not even saying hair tap. This is Harry Dada, a deputy. Now let's come back over here. They're gonna say, oh, that got an R under it. Harry, I'm saying Harry, and I should be saying Harry, so we wouldn't have been getting confused, but whatever. I'm kind of like thinking that that's why this is going like this. I mean, they can read stuff the way they read it, but I can too. As long as it's qualified by, works. I don't think that's a deputy. But look, okay, that's the preposition. That's what I would have to go with. Unless you want to go with this, the face is turned straight at you. When the face turned to the side, I'm going with the preposition. I don't think it's the deputy because of the grammar. Nah. How they gonna say it? See, that's what I'm saying. They left so much out of this. The true confident part. So y'all know about my. I don't know if everybody know about my eye being the truth, right? But here go the part about the truth. Now, that damn near could have been in my Akaru, so they really, I don't know how they just came out with this, but whatever. I don't think, this ain't the preposition. This is like his deputy? Yeah, his deputy. Okay. It's like his deputy and true serve and true confident. All right, whatever. I don't know. Whatever. I'll be having questions about this right here. But whenever I do that, it's not because of the knowledge of the book. I'm not trying to be one of the people on YouTube acting like Scholar didn't know. He did his work. I'm just going over this and doing it myself. So I ain't trying to do that. All right, what you talking about? Let me see. Ain't nothing said in the chat. Cool. Y'all probably just chilling on a late night, listening to somebody talk. It's all good. I do it all the time. Half the time, I just let YouTube run on the side of my bed. All right, so here we go. So now maybe here goes some more simple lessons. Multiliteral signs. I know y'all be hearing us say biliteral, triliteral. See, this book is arranged hella crazy though. Like, damn, bro. So you're just going from exercise 2 to multiliteral signs, but you're starting at biliterals. I don't know. Like, after this map, it's just going to go 3 multiliteral signs, 3.1 biliterals. Well, he must, in 1.5, he showed us the uniliterals. So most of the uniliteral signs introduced in lesson 2 seem to have been chosen on the basis of the Rebus principle. For example, the picture of a mouth was apparently chosen to represent the consonant R from the word for mouth, which was something like Ra. The actuary shows that this is a hypothetical reconstruction. The pronunciation is deduced from the Coptic word ro, for mouth. Now, I said the other day, that Coptic got some of the most cognates out with the Medunetia. So what people I don't know what people think when I talk about Coptic. This is what cats fail to understand about Coptic. Coptic is an African language with no twist on it. Like, I'm not saying that to have to put some twist on it. So in 2012, I wrote this article more on the comparison between the Coptic Hotep and the ancient Egyptian term Hotep. In that little research I did to write this article, I learned how the Coptic was really doing things. And if they had a term, so Coptic Hotep don't mean Hotep. It don't mean peace. It means something else. I think we say Nafri. Nafri is like a greeting in Coptic. Come on, I'm trying to go back to my old Coptic trainings. Everybody should know that. That's the first thing they teach you. Nofre. Nafri, Coptic. Coptic. Let's see. Nafri. Okay, look. Now look. See? It went to Nefer. Okay. Oh, that's killing. This is, damn, did you just see what I'm saying? I didn't even trip off Nafri going to Nefer. But I was saying we wouldn't say Hotep for peace. They would say Nafri in Coptic. But see, you see, Nefer is pleasing, beautiful, good things are fine. Damn, I forgot. Even there you go with another Coptic cognate that I was just saying. You'd say Nafri. So I'm not saying the real way we supposed to say Nefer now is Nafri based on the cognate. What I'm saying is, based on their Coptic pronunciation, what I'm saying is take out the vowels and take Nafri and Nefer, and you got a closer cognate than you got with the people who was talking about, in my language, Nefer means to fly. I'm like, huh? You know about forming cognates, right? You don't just look at the consonants. Oh, we got them consonants too. And then the meanings are obtuse. They're completely different. It's not a cognate. But this was not free. So this is a greeting in Coptic, which made me question, how did they switch from Hotep? See, this is I already knew, wasn't nobody walking around saying Hotep. Because in my research, I was trying to even see when they switched from saying Hotep for what's up, peace, even though we know it wasn't that. And they say Nedge correct, all these other different things. Or, y'all can correct me wherever I need to be corrected. Because my memory, I'm just talking. Something like Nedge correct. But let's see if they say something about. It just says good benefit. Told you, there we go. Hello. See, hello. Remember what I was talking about? Nobody, I don't know if I ever talked about it too much, but I kind of started coming to the conclusion that people wasn't walking up on each other going hotel. And just look, now, let me show you Al Jaheed say the cops was black, man. Because cops be messing that up. He said the cops were black, right? And so you understand how things become to happen. Al Jaheed is the glory of the blacks over the whites, right? Cool. Is this it? Okay. Let me just search it just to show y'all. See? Cops. Now let's see. My color does not prevent my being valiant with my sword in battle. Or it says, though my hair is woolly and my skin is black as coal, I am generous and my honor shines. My color does not prevent my being valiant by my sword or with my sword. No. You who would boast of your petty glory, the people of the Negas have more reason for glory than you. And in the day that Islam was offered to El Jalanda, Ibn Kisra, Harith, and Hawdaha, the Cop Caesar, they all refused. All right, that ain't what I'm looking for. I just wanted to see. This whole book from Al Jaheed's is an ancient book talking about the blacks in his perspective. But if that's the only two statements that we have in here on the cops, I will just go back to the quote and keep it going. The cops too are black. I don't know why I don't find out. Why wouldn't you have seen cops? Think about it. They're around still. They still around to this day. If you think about it. But a lot of people have talked about who people were that they had not seen. You know what I'm saying? But it is in his book, so I'm not going to fight against that too much. I just would want to know why you saying he might not have seen them, because they would have been in his time period. Yeah, that book is full of daggers. He be like, everybody black. What is y'all doing? So this is in his time period. He didn't know we was going to be arguing about this later. Maybe this got the page on here. The quote here about the cops. Let me see. So this book ain't that easy to find. Here we go right here. Damn. I need water. Page 216. And I know this quote already, so I don't care about what the source is. It says, the blacks include the Zanj, Ethiopians, the people of Fasan, the Berbers, the Copts, Nubians, the people. So I only wanted to read there, but the Nubians, the people of Zagawa, Marawi, Sindhi, and India. Now, see, y'all problem is, no, that's not race, Sarah. Because the people of India would be of a different race than the people of Nubia. Yeah, I'm going to zoom in. The people of, and that's as much as I can zoom in. The people of, he's talking about people in China. He's talking about all different people who got black skin. So that's what people keep messing up. But if you're on the African continent and you got black skin, it's safe to say you probably black. Now, I would recommend, it says page 216, the book is called Al-Jahid's The Glory of the Blacks Over the Whites. But don't think that he didn't write another book called The Glory of the Whites Over the Blacks. We should know that. He don't change his stance. He say the same things. But in this book, he's pointing out the good things that the blacks people have done. I don't say blacks in my real life, by the way. The book is called The Glory of the Blacks Over the Whites. So I'm using his way he framed his characters. Right? And so he's not like hating or choosing sides. He's documenting what the black people did in history and what white people did in history. You feel me? And I only came here because it said, he said the Copts was black. So when I be talking about Coptic, and then cats might be thinking I'm talking about like something that ain't African. And I'd be like, nah, that's y'all mistake. How did we get to Nafri? Because I was at my article talking about Hotep. So in one of these articles, I put a list of cognates. The difference between Hotep piece and Egyptian. It might be in here. I'm gonna make videos out of these. I'm gonna make videos out of these old articles. It ain't on here. But what I would like to show us is worth it, so let me find it. Here we go. This is just a short list of Coptic and ancient Egyptian cognate terms. All right. Now, in ancient Egyptian, let me just take this. If I take this right here, this is why this is cool. I'm going to take this and pop this into JSesh, right? And we probably should see what we're looking at. Probably not, though, but let me see. No, let me show you. This is what we're looking at. I know that. I knew that, dude. Don't ask me. Don't say that. Now, the M ain't going to be there, but it'll be A1 with B1 over Z3, over Z1, over Z2. Dang, I messed that up. So this is when we see the ancient Egyptian, we say remetch, right? Because we don't know the vowels. Now, if we see this longer form of this verb written out in probably one or two attestations, we will see it say there's an M in between here that they're not putting in for aesthetic purposes. But all we see is the R and the TCH. Right? So then let's go back over here. We really got the R, the M, and the TCH. This capital T represents the TCH. Now, this is what we learned. And watch the consistency with this. And this was taught to me by Sandro Capocicci. Now, the T in Coptic, in ancient Egyptian, is going to consistently fall off in Coptic and form a E-R-I sound. It's going to do it every time. With so much scientific consistency that I'd be like, cats must have never looked at this. So here, Remech, that we think is supposed to say, the black Copts said Rome, at least one. Oh, we can talk about that, Bam Sue. So there's a few different understandings of what a Copt is, but as I would think, Al Jahiz would know people left from a place called Gebtu, right? And would be the original stock of the Copts. So let me show you something. If I come right here and put Gebtu, Gebtu, it's going to take us to Quift, right? Check this out. You go into the ancient Egyptian Quift, Gebtu, Egyptian Gebtu, Greek Coptos. So that's kind of like, I hope y'all don't think I'm talking about the Greeks was black. That's not what I'm saying. Look how far Coptos is down here. It was right across the river from Nakata in the founding, for the founders of Egypt, one of the oldest cities. So this is understanding. So I apologize, Ben, because it would have took me some more clarity on who the Copts actually was, because we be thinking of people walking around with the Christian crosses, who we know taught to us as the Copts, who that ain't really all that, you know what I'm saying? You can show Copts being around before Christianity. And I'm about to show you this. So when I go to the Nome map, Egypt, and I know even Al Jahiz would have had some confusion about that too, but it's the people of the original land keeping their heritage and their ancestry saying what they do. Now, the thing is, we got 3 different dialects of Coptic, and so it would be all over the place. This is Fayum. So when they say the Fayumic dialect, they're talking about over here. Badari. Now, let me just show you something. There go Badari, right? Badari. So that's the Badaric Southern dialect. But when we come down here, let's get out of the languages and think about the ancient places. Right here, Coptos. So when we do the meta nature, and we can be confusing talking about the Copts too, right? And don't get it twisted, everything I'm saying has to do with the Coptic language and what happens, but this is how I understand it to be an African language, because when somebody come in and take something and then it just get overpowered by the Greek and the white contingency, we still got to know the same phenomenon occurred. Originally, the Copts was not them. And they just adapted that on some Christian stuff, and Christianity wasn't even cracking way back in. And so I thank you for pointing that out so that we could so I could give some clarity to that. Yes, I am talking about people living in about 1 AD 2, which would not have been these stock of people right here. But I'm saying that original contingency they came from in this argument, because these was the first Copts, the people of Gebtu. Then they start calling that Coptos, and then we get Copts. But there could be a lot of confusion in this discussion matter, because when we see a picture of a Copt, you only going to see some religious Christian picture all the time. And since the Coptic language became a liturgical language, we also got to understand a lot of the first Copt Ethiopians, there was Ethiopians. Somebody said that in the chat, I know. Coptics are Ethiopian, right? So that was some original stuff. But let's get back to some of these cognates. So if we realize a system is going on here, A T, whether feminine or not. And here's something else we also learned. This TCH, which this capital T represents, in Remech, which is a fake word, and the closest thing we got is the Coptic. This is what I keep telling us. Go find a word in your language that match Remech, that you know the vowels and it mean the same exact thing. I do say no. I don't want to start saying Rome, because this is not Medu Neter. It's not ancient Egyptian. It's the final stage when all kind of stuff was mixed up in it. 50% of the inventory, and this is what I want to argue about the Coptic language, about what I just said about the people from Geptu too. 50% of the, I don't know about Greeks and Geptu. Yeah, I think, thank you for taking it down. Greeks was in the Cratis, but 50% of the 50% of the stock of 50% of the stock of the Coptic language is Medu Neter. 30% Greek. So let's just say that's probably close to, that might have been how, they gotta be dealing with something. How did it happen like that? If the Copts was all some unrelated people, how could 50% of their words, a word for man, a word for sister, they all ancient Egyptian words. So let's follow the system. The T fell off and they say Rome. We say, we thought a name was Ren because we don't know the vowels. But the closest language to ancient Egyptian that has an R and an N and then the definition means name actually says Ran. You know, we can not like it or whatever. We say, we thought it's sin. All we doing is what Egyptologists told us and putting the E in between everything. And we think that's better than at least looking at something that's functioning right now. So this is sin, Ren, Remech, Sinet. All I'm doing is adding E's everywhere. That's unscientific. But they would say sin since it's masculine. They say son or son. That's your brother. It's funny how we say, what's up, son? And you're not talking about your son. You're talking to your brother. But when we would say Sinet, they just say sonne. So a son or sonne. Now notice this, and this is going to be key to understanding Kemet. When we would say moot for mother, this isn't even right, yo. This is just transliteration. Then you popping E's in between some transliteration and acting like you saying the word. But that's mother. What the Coptic would say is ma'u. Now, it's so crazy that all of these elemental names for your family members. See, it's hard to do this when you go into them other languages. You ain't gonna get a whole family and all of them got a cognate, dog. So I don't like steamrolling people. I know I could bombard all them arguments. That's because I beat up Asar Imhotep and Ujahu. This is why these documents are on the screen for them when we was battling 10 years ago. All the African books he had, he couldn't beat this list of cognates. Yep, Min was the god of Coptos. That's very good, right. And there's also another place, an ancient place called Bat. That was kind of significant right in that area, but it's not talked about much. But so we thought when we say father in the Medu Neter, we'd be like, it's just it. It's just it. But in the Coptic, they actually had it like Eut. Coptic is not Medu Neter. Yeah, James, they wasn't sending that out because I was playing some music from a new album I released today, so it kind of hurt the stream. But it's all good. People will see the video and still watch it later. So, father, mother, sister, brother, a generic personal name, and the name for man all got cognates in Coptic. I don't think this came out right, this next one. But I don't know how this is transliterated like this. This is an old ass document. Right now, the word I'm thinking for a book in my head is like majot. Or maybe this was probably, I don't know. But, so, remember that the T falls off. Oh, yeah, the T fall. Oh, no, the T, I don't know. I can't do this top one. I can't even see what's going on with that. But if we were saying, Aet, if you take off the T, you just be like, ah. And that's what they say, EOA, or whatever, for a field. Pronounced Yoa. This is a cognate. If we have, see, this transliteration is killing me, but that's supposed to be an A and an X. I shouldn't have put demon there, but Ak, like for spirit, is the same in Coptic. Now trip off the word, ancient Egyptian word, we say pet for the sky. There go that T falling off, and you get pay in Coptic. You trip off that? Clay, earth, and dearth ain't Kemet. Clay, earth, and dearth is Ka in this instance. And clay, earth, and dirt in Coptic, Ka. No difference. Ain't nobody even came on no shows and just ran down their list of cognates and just ended everything we were saying. Mu in Medu Nature, water. Mu. How you gonna pronounce this? Mu? It's the same thing. In Coptic, water. Now, how could water be the same word? Yeah, Shaka tripping saying Coptic didn't lead to African origin when I'm showing you this right here. He don't know what the hell he talking about. He'd have to explain this. Even if I thought it didn't lead to an African origin after examining all these basic key terms in a language, you have to ask yourself, how could a language exist without all these terms of their own? You need somebody else term for water? That's like us not having a term for water and we just be walking around saying agua all day. Yo, what's up? Give me some agua. Because we ain't got no way to say that because water was something we didn't know about till we met Mexican people. Look at this. It keeps going. Heru for day in Coptic. I mean, in Medu Neter. We got in Rani Kemet. And both languages is called Rani Kemet. We just say Coptic. You don't say Coptic. You say Rani Kemet. That's the same exact language name of Medu Neter. No difference. Do y'all realize that? There's Coptic, just like we say Egyptian language. There's no, you won't find the Medu Neter for Egyptian language. It will say Rani Kemet. You won't find no Medu Neter for Coptic, or you won't find Coptic for Coptic. What you will find is Ra-Ni Kemet. I hope we understand that, right? Coptic language has the exact same name as the Medu Neter. The script is different. That's the part people be tripping on. So I'm showing these words. Let me continue. An hour in Medu Neter, when wet or when newt, however you want to put it. But take the T. There go that T falling off. Now we just got unu, or how you want to say that? Aunu, right? So you can see this O and this U is representative of this W in both instances. That's a cognate. For hour. Now look at Rempet, we say that for the year, right? Watch the T fall off, and you get Rompe in Coptic. Dude, this is so scientific. I'll be like, dudes is tripping. I got a whole page. Look how high up I'm on the page. We say tear. Now, let's talk about this. Because I had not talked to any linguists about the R falling off, because I've been being helped with my research about Kemet. And so the terms we've been scrutinizing is KMT. But we could maybe see if words that end in R are also forming a phenomenon where the R is falling off. Because we got tear here, and then we got te, right? And so it may be a case that what they're transliterating for R here, I know I heard Asar say some stuff like that before too. But whatever, I don't want to go there. Seasons. A tree, shin. A tree, shin. That's crazy, right? So here goes a word with a T in it where we thought it was bots for a bush or whatever. And again, some of these words ain't the most common ones we know, because some of them come from late Egyptian, which is closer to Coptic too. But we can see some of these roots go all the way back to Old Egyptian. So just caution me if you like. I know another way to say tree, right? So here go that T falling off, and that bot for bush or spring becomes bo. Allow me not to speak on how these two are cognates. I don't know how the F and the B is doing anything, but we got this Q doing what the K is doing. Income is being for ka, and now they say bike, whatever. I don't want to start sounding like some other people. I want the ones you can directly see. So we might not be familiar with this term for being a term for going either in the Medu Neter, right? And it says this is a preferred word in Southern Coptic, bok, from bak. But we might know shim. This just got shimmy, one who goes, but they say she, to go. To come, we say ee, and remember Dr. Mario Beatty proved this the other day when he said, how do we know Asar Imhotep means one who comes in the Medu Neter? He said it's from the Coptic. Because look, ee in Medu Neter survives all the way to the Coptic as what? E-E. How do you say an E and an I next to each other? Okay. Man, now you know this is peret or peri, to emanate, to come out, to come forth. But you said peri. The T falling off. To fetch, to bring, like we read the Medu Neter when we say any, all that. I could go write this in the Medu Neter. And you see the T on there? That's a good question, how to say hoop kapata. I don't think that was in the English, in the Greek, but we can look at some real attestations of hoop kapata. Any, what we used to say to fetch, to go, was still any. It survived to the Coptic. You see, but this is innate. Innate, the T fell off, so we just get the any. Don't you know when we see the I? Let me show y'all. It'll be better if I showed the Medu Neter, so people can get what I'm saying. And then we put the R under it. When we see this, we say ear. I-R. To do or to make or to create. This is a longer version of it. One who does, basically. They say the same thing in Coptic. Eerie. Now, I'm just wondering, so late, how we get from Jed to Ko, and then say you got a cognate. But I'm looking like that. I don't remember that being over there like that. But this is a 12-year-old document, so I'm just skipping the ones like that I ain't, in order to explain why they on the list. You just gotta pardon me. Now we got Medu to call, but it's just words, right? But that D then changed to a T, and they just say Molte, whatever. Sejum, which we just formed by putting two E's between these transliterated consonants, and we say it means to hear. They say sotum. So what's the difference? Well, they was walking around active in Egypt, speaking the language, communicating with each other. We doing some reconstructions. I'm not giving, this isn't how Medu Neter is pronounced. Don't be confused. This is the final stage and one of the best clues we got. It's all I argue. I'm not saying this we should start saying sotum. No. But at least we should consider, why do we keep putting the O in the middle of, and why do we keep putting the E and saying Sejum when we at least got clues that they say a O in it? Let's explain to us what problem we got for thinking that there's an O there. When we say new, now this is, again, this new for the look of the sea gotta be coming out of a newer Egyptian. So I'm gonna deal with most of the Middle Egyptian terms so y'all can see them and understand them. So Marie, love, it lost all. So yeah, the R is falling off. Remember I asked us to follow that earlier? It lost both of its weeks and it just turned to May. R must have eventually became a weak consonant in the final position. But it wasn't always. And this is already weak. This is already weak. The root to this is Mer. That's why I said the final position. But May, so it became May. The T's falling off. So everything fell off. This R, this I, and this T. And they just said May. No more Meret. No, ma'at for truth will become ma. But this is saying the dialects. See, it got the different ways they were rocking in different dialects. Just so we can see. How long what just happened to the document? Dude, I don't know. I'll be going through some crazy stuff. Oh, maybe, let me zoom down. Oh, that's what happened. I'm like, what the hell? All right, let's keep it going. So, if I take this word and put it in the dictionary, it's not going to bring us back hate. If I take the root, it would. So, this says MSD, MSDJ, right? I'm going to put an M and a Z in here because I kind of know what they're getting at. Why the M and the Z didn't pop up? MS, that's going to give us birth. MSD. There you go. So, if they saying that this was hate in the meta nature, right? Where they go? Now, you see the D is changing to the T again. The last soft, weak consonant fell off again. And what we got? Oh, no, it's kind of like E, but we got moste. It went from, well, it didn't go from this, because what I'm about to say on this side is all Egyptology speak. Meseji. Moste. Now, what Masha, not just the regular, they say the walk or travel. If I put Masha in here, it'll lead us back to an army. So now we know that this walk and travel is like a procession or a march. A march. Not that Masha. Maybe I should make the A smaller. What's up, Lance? I'm just up on the late night cooking. Probably about to go to sleep. So you see generals, army. There you go. Masha, to travel, to march. You feel me? So if that's not the word you know for walk or travel, it's moose. Musha. Moshe. Pronounced Moshe. To walk in Coptic. Now here go the funny part, and this is why I was like Nubia might have something to do with this. When we get to the gold, and we say ni boo because we speak Egyptology speak, and we just put the E right here in between this. But if you look at how they pronounce it in Coptic, they put the U sound in between the N and the B. So this will be like noob. Uh-oh. Because if you put a U sound in between the N and the B, you got noob. See, we be saying, no, it's Nebu. No, it's noob. The Greeks slapped the E on it. They knew the commodity they wanted from the area was called noob. Then you get noob E. E is a Greek suffix to say a place. So you got noob, gold, and when they wanted to tell where gold was, they say noob E. But that ain't ancient Egyptian. That ain't even Coptic. That was Greek. That's why I be like, Nubia is like Egypt. Two places that the ancient Egyptians never heard of. I could keep going, and every time I show you that this D be changing to the T, you can't say I made that up. The D became the T, see? And the T's in ancient Egyptian fall off completely. So hedge for silver, and this proves that hedge was never white. This is why we need to do this stuff. Because when we look at hedge, it survived into the Coptic as hot. And when you want to say silver, you say hot. In the ancient Egyptian, we was trying to figure out what color it was. Was it silver? Was it bright? Was it light? Was it shining? Well, you can't say they didn't use it for white. No, but we see it remains as a cognate for meaning silver. Now, this is going to be crazy. Erdi. We talk about erdi all the time. To give, the transitive verb. D. Remember the T, the D turns to a T? So now we got T. That's to give. Now, I know I done been doing this for way longer than anybody who was trying to show some cognates with ancient Egyptian with any other African language could do. But now it's about to get even grosser. Because not only do we got a huge inventory of words that match right up, when we start to go to the suffixes, they're exactly the prefixes first, excuse me. When we go to the prefixes, they're exactly the same. So, pa, the masculine definite article, like pa, ka, well, the earth, we got, I say pa, ka, but I don't know why this definition was pa, ka. I would say pa, ta. But it just turned to putting a P in the front of a word. So when we say Phineas, that comes from what I'm talking about. Because they just put a P in the front of the ancient Egyptian term Nehesi. Pa Nehes. Right? Pa Nehes turns to Phineas. Pa. So now we know the P suffix, even in a name, because they don't do it like that. Coptic write all the glyphs together. Everything is just, you can't, they don't parse it either. You know how to parse by looking at suffixes and prefixes. Coptic got a final way. If it's the final, you write the letter of one particular way if it's the final letter in the word. You write it another way if it's in the middle of the word. So it's like, imagine if we went to lowercase, imagine if we wrote all our words together and never put no spaces in them. But when you was about to start a new word, the last letter of the last word was lowercase or uppercase. And that's how you knew a new word was starting, because you end each word with an uppercase. It's kind of like that. But here we got the feminine definite article for the. So now we see tepe. Tepe is the sky in Coptic. If we want to go to the Meta-Nature, we're going to say tape. Now, they probably would say, pay. I don't speak Coptic. I have nobody to practice with. But I see a T in suffix of a word, pay. And you got to pronounce them. This ain't transliteration. So this is how it's pronounced. Pay. However you could get that out. The plural is still na, is still in Coptic. So when you see the suffix in Coptic, that's fathers. But it's the fathers. The definite article, it's the definite article for a plural. Nah. Ancient Egyptian, same thing. Now check this out. This is a prefixed W, right? Now this is gonna take us into some other, some ancient Egyptian we might not know because it ain't Middle Egyptian. So I'm not even about to trip off that. But just for the ones we do know, these prepositions, right? So few or some. They say the indefinite article, and we got hensu, hen sinu, some brothers. Hen sone, some sisters. That's Coptic. But in the Meta Nature, we got NHYN. So it was like Nahayan. I don't know. Nevertheless, they're cognates. A simple in preposition for two or four works exactly the same way in Coptic. So in T Ma'u, now that we know that the T was giving us this definite article, the for the feminine, if you put it in, it's for, this is dative, for the mother. Inti Ma'u, how would you say that? Nitmayu, I don't know. Nitmayu, I don't know. How do you say N and a T and then a Ma'u? Nti Ma'u. I would listen to some Coptic and see. For the mother. M, Payu, if Payu is father, and we got an M preposition in front of it, it's just like Meta Nature in that regard. Now, the funny part about this R preposition and what I be saying about it, look, the exact definitions is here for the Coptic. 2, when you see the R, now this is why I say it's but people don't want to mess with me, and I'll always have to do this. If we ever debated, it would have looked like this, and then you would have got hands put on. Now check it out. If we talk about why I never say Ra, I say Emmy and some people be saying Emmy Ra or Emmy Ray. And I know where y'all get that from, Egyptologists. They just told you to say that. But my first probe or inquiry about this R glyph, let me show y'all. This R glyph right here, right? The question is, if it's only a R and we presume that it has a consonant around it, because it takes that to use, you notice it takes that to use consonants a lot of the time. If you say K, you're saying K-A-Y. If you say R, you're saying E-R. Or you say no, you're just saying R. Some would say no, you're saying A-R-E. And so really, R right here was a word, not a letter. So we entertained that it had consonant around it. Now we got 3 formulas, or 4 formulas, or 5 formulas. The most I can see is 5 formulas. Here go formula number 1. It had I'm just going to put an arbitrary glyph. It had a glyph before it, which would give you a consonantal sound. Right now I'm using this as a soft Y, giving us kind of like a vowel. Some would say year here, some would say ear, right? That's formula 1. R, it had it behind it. And I'll use another vowel to illustrate how this could pop out. No, actually I'll use another vowel to illustrate how this could happen in various ways. If it had it behind it, this would have been rendered Ra or Ray. Now, there's 2 ways to pronounce an A. So this one could have probably been Ra, and then you could have came back with this one, and it could have been Ray. Now, the problem that happens is when you say that this is Ra, then you have to tell me how the ancient Egyptian who was speaking out of his mouth and wasn't writing things down, how did he tell a person when he was talking about the sun Ra or when he was talking about the mouth? How would I know the difference? Context? Sometimes context will fail you And so I would say, I would argue that before you make the context argument, let's entertain that it's possibly not the same vowel following this R to make us say Ra when we come to the mouth. Now, I always argue, I say M-E-R, because I put an E in front of it. Now, let me show you what that's based on. In every word we seen up here that had an R in it, not in the first position, even in the first position, look. The R falls off. See? See? Whereas the R to the right column, there will not be an R to the left column. So that lets us know now we're only left with the vowel that was used, at least in the later time period, to say the word earth. And what do we have? An E. See? So put them together, you got earth. Because the R gone. But it would have been there in older time. Now the vowel only left in Coptic. So I will argue with some evidence like this that this should not ever be pronounced Ra, M-E-Ra. We just got that from, you just got that from Egyptologists with no explanation. What about M? With, in, and as, well, that is an N in Coptic. Hair loses its R and just becomes he. Thor loses its R and becomes ha. Under. So I'm pretty sure this H is a H. Kinu, the interior that we often talk about, becomes kin. Right? I don't even know Urbaneer. Right? I don't even know Urbaneer. That would be something sweet in the mouth to me. But this means outside, and it just becomes Ebo. All right, I don't know. You can say which one of these ain't cognate to you. But let me know. Now, this is more definitive and more conclusive, and there's a lot more to this. We're dealing with basically ownership now because we got his. So we're going to go from the masculine to feminine to plural back to masculine, feminine with Payef, which is a not late Egyptian, but you can find it in Middle Egyptian too. It's just a different way to say his. Right? Payef noob. They just saying Pef. Noob. His gold. But we thought in the ancient Egyptian it was Pay F. Still. Now what we losing here? We losing this Y. Right? So Pay F loses the Y and becomes Pef. Pay F loses the Y and becomes Tef. Nay F loses the Y, becomes Nef. Now here in the feminine, Pay S, ancient Egyptian, loses the Y and becomes Pes. Pay S loses the Y and becomes Tes. Nay S loses the Y and becomes Ness. Yeah, and they black, Kenway. That's what people didn't understand about my Coptic argument. I think a lot of the people was thinking that I was talking about the white cops. No, I'm on my algebra shit. You feel me? If you could beat that list of cognates, I have to get another better one for you, Kenway. You know what I'm saying? If you like, oh, I can show way more association than that. But that was just what I popped out in preliminary with it for a draw. This actually wasn't for a sarnim. This was in more on the comparison between the Coptic Hotep and the ancient Egyptian Turn Hotep, which I'll invite y'all to read. I have learned a lot since then, but you know, the article ain't been beat up too bad by people. You know what I'm saying? And we learned that those is kind of like two different things. Hotep in Coptic is like the rising of the sun, bro. See? So it says when we go to the Crumbs Coptic Dictionary, we find Hutup, HTP, HUTP, being defined as join, be reconciled with, sinking of the stars. Now, this is the only Coptic term that got close as to our Hotep. You know what I'm saying? So you can say why you got it with the W there, because if you just go HTP, you ain't even gonna find nothing. So maybe it's a vowel, a sound missing out of that Hotep. Maybe it was like Hutep. Yeah, a W and an O is very close together. All right. Yeah, that was some old school work. And then let's go back to, y'all will even see that even in my original argument, I never said, look, Bantu or Coptic. Come on, man. I got old ass articles on this. I didn't just start writing recently. I've been a writer my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So this 2014, 10 years ago, 10-year anniversary of this document was just last month, 2 months ago. Bantu or Coptic. See, the whole problem they had with this is they thought Coptic was white. This is thorough handlebars. Nobody could go to their old nothing and say, this is when I put miraculous handlebars on Smash Rockwell and just pull up a article that documented it and placed it in time. Because see, they be not knowing how bad they shit gonna mildew. Right? And I'm like, oh, this not gonna sound good 10 years later. So here we are 10 years later, and I'm about to read just how bad this don't sound for Asar, Imhotep, and Ujahu. This was the worst. Look what I had to go through, y'all. Like, seriously. This is what I had to go through. Documented. When someone adopts a position or tries to persuade someone else to adopt a position based on a bad piece of reasoning, they commit fallacy. All right? Now look. This is my article. The position Asar takes in the below argument is a fallacy. That I said anything about Jean-Claude Mboli's work is a position he tries to persuade the audience to accept. The bad reason is when Asar conflates my source work for my own work. Asar assumes an inaccurate position that I, Jonathan, have spoken against a book, Mboli, that I have not read. This was a grave mistake and argument that led to a long discourse, after which Asar Imhotep, I put them boys in stone like Han Solo, frozen in time on the side of the metal nether wall, right here. You know, if we was lithographing things in stone, this is the new way to do it. Put it on the internet. If it's a lie, they gotta refute it. It's not. They ran just like this new time. This was the first run DMC. They disappeared for like 6 months after this one. See, I got receipts, bro. I'm big on receipts. I will write the whole shit out. And I published it when it was hot. So don't act like 10 years later you could refute it. This was a grave mistake and argument that led to a long discourse, after which Asar Imhotep and Ujahu Uri Ma'at, eventually submitted and said Coptic is Egyptian. So do you know that I argued with them boys for so long over that? Below, I will detail Asar's fallacy. I will also address Ujahu's mistakes. Now look at this craziness, y'all. The topic of a discussion is Coptic being the last stage of ancient Egyptian or not? 9 24:14. On the Amara Squad show, there was a continuation of a discussion about the relationship between Coptic and Middle Egyptian. During this conversation at 27:35 exactly, Ujahu Uri Ma'at says scholars before Jean-Claude Mboli based the relationship between Middle Egyptian and Coptic on assumption. Seriously. That's a wild-ass statement right there. But watch how far this goes. I will prove here that that is a lie. Ujahu said not one had... Now, this is why I was like, y'all make me sick falling for these suckers. Because I documented when Had Not Done the Work came out. And they was talking about something else. It wasn't even Kemet. Listen to this. Ujahu said that no one had done the work required to show a genetic relationship between Egyptian and Coptic. 10 years later, no one had done the work to prove that Kemet mean black. So you know when you went, you playing hoop with your homies and you know your partner move, but you playing hoop in front of some new people who think that move is something. You shut that shit down all the time. They think that move something just because he scored on it, but the game ain't over. So now you just picking it. Now they don't want to play. They take their ball and run and disappear, see if the coast is clear, and come back. But he was using the same, no one had done the work topic to make people think that only this guy named Jean-Claude Mboli did something special. So not to mischaracterize, this is all documentation. Ujahu said no one had done the work required to show the genetic relationship between Egyptian and Coptic, and that in order to establish a genetic relation, one has to reconstruct the pre-dialectical parent of the comparative languages. Of a living language. Who heard Cambone go hard on Asar when he was like, idiot? Why would I reconstruct a living language? You just go see how people using it right now. I don't have to sit around and say, they might have said for when they were speaking words. I just go and look at how they're using it. Oh my God, this is that over smart shit. Too smart for your own good. Now watch what happened. Here's the quote by Ujahu. His, Mboli's linguistic comparative work and his reconstructive and pre-dialectical parent. Oh, here go the Blog Talk Radio. I got receipts. Don't have me click this Blog Talk so y'all can hear it with y'all own ears. Ooh, that gets to cooking. One thing I know about Blog Talk is they didn't maintain this data good, so I think it's not going to be there. But at least I put the link way back then. I had the mind to do that. Because I knew today would come and they'd be trying to say they never said this stuff. So watch this. His linguistic comparison work and his reconstructing the pre-dialectical parent, he is able to show the genetic relationship between them and what scholars before him did not do, and they based it all on assumption. So people are just saying Coptic is the last stage of ancient Egyptian. So people are just saying Kemet mean black. See, I'm all behind. You know how when they figured out the Wizard of Oz was just that dude up in the thing? I'm pulling the whole curtain off the shit. And y'all can clearly see, damn, did he say it? If you're not thinking, damn, did he said that, then you got some, I don't give a fuck about you being my partner, my homie, my motherfucking friend. You got to reconcile that in your own self. You clearly see this shit. It's crazy. But just because the way Smash sound or something gonna make you say, but I never heard Wu voice sound like that. So fucking, no, this is egregious. Teaching the community that they guessed on Coptic. And it's a new superstar named Jean-Claude Ebola who fixed everything. So I had to lean on Theophilo Banger, like these dudes are some squares. In Theophilo Banger's book, Introduction à la Linguistique Historique, I don't know, Historique Africaine, page 67, Obanga notes the comparison between the Berber phonology and the Egyptian would be the decisive factor in establishing a relationship between the two languages. Also, Ujahu must have accidentally omitted Theophilo Banger when saying no one has done the reconstructive work with pre-dialectical parents, or maybe Ujahu just gives validity to Mboli's comparative method over Obanga's. Although Obanga mentioned phonological comparisons between Berber and Egyptian, Leprino also speaks about comparisons between Coptic and Egyptian, that the lexical structure and elements of the morphosyntactic are easily noticed by the non-specialist like myself. Let's see this quote. Although philological and non-interlinear, the translation of Egyptian and Coptic passages, provide in parentheses enough information for the non-specialists to allow them to recognize all the elements of the morphosyntactic as well as lexical structure of a sentence. Do you see what he just said? Although philological and not interlinear. So philologically, but not interlinearly. Like you're not going to just be able to go this word, that word, this word, that word. That's interlinear. But philologically, the way we look over text and see what words mean. Look, although philologically and not interlinearly, the translation of Egyptian and Coptic passages provide, in parentheses, enough information for the non-specialists to allow them to recognize all the elements of the morphosyntactic as well as lexical structure of the sentence. You could do that with Coptic, Egyptian, put them together philologically and say, okay, look, all these elements are identifiable. And you don't got to be a specialist. In this work, Leprino, I says Leprino, I should say no, but I probably should say yo. Anyway, in this work, Leprino compares phonological systems, grammar, verbal morphology, syntax, and many other linguistic elements of early Egyptian, Middle Egyptian, and Coptic. This is another great linguistic analysis between Egyptian and Coptic that some say has not occurred. The complete comparative linguistic survey of Coptic and Egyptian was done by Kirk-Self, 1902. Now, notice this. I had to whip this same, let me show y'all something. This is why I be getting mad. Y'all see the date on this is 10 years ago? This is how I play. Remember when I told you, if you hooping with your partner, you know they weak, but they do got one move, right? And they do the move in front of some new people. The new people think he got game. But you thinking, all right, next time up the court, he gonna do that same weak-ass crossover. I'm gone. So let me prove that. This fool did this move called nobody done the work. That's a move, right? So in order to beat up the nobody had done the work move in debate, my job was to show who did the work. In Theophilo Banger's book, that's one person did the work. Leprino, second person did the work. Now we on the third one. You always hit them with 3. Don't stop at 2. Bombard them because they're going to try to discredit one of them. So then when I came here, I want y'all to notice something. The complete comparative linguistic survey of Coptic and Egyptian was done primarily by Kurt Self, 1902, in Egyptian verbatim, all these names, right, written in German. This is 10 years ago. I'm coming to Canva. Because I'm not no square daddy. I'm like a battle rapper. You gonna say an old ass bar to me that I remember how I refuted the bar? So check this out. This is hella funny. When I did this presentation just 2 years ago, when they started saying the same fake bullshit, I picked their draws with the same move I did in, y'all ain't gonna believe it, with the same move I picked them with in 10 years ago. Here it go. So you don't really want to play a 10-year, we can play a 20-year, we can play a 30-year game. So I'm like, oh, they trying to run that move. This ain't did the work. But I researched who did the work the first time y'all brought out ain't did the work. So now I just came right here, look. No one has done the work. You would not believe this. So when I made this slide, y'all see, you can see how much more was behind my jiggles and chuckles. I was like, people can't see everything I'm seeing. But just 2 years ago, they was poking their chest out, banging on Diop, talking about nobody doing the work when I knew that that was a fucking script or a screenplay or just a routine like the dude who worked for Clark Pest Control at your door, reading the script. So I said, okay, I'm going to do the same move. And then, oh, no one done the work. Oh, let me show you sucks who did the work. Early encounters, Egyptian and Coptic, and comparative linguistics. He didn't know this book existed. This work, excuse me, pointing to the book. So this is a work that points to the book, right? We can pull this up right now. I can just take, but it points to the book. Let me show you. It points to this work. Early encounters, yeah, right here. Egyptian and Coptic studies and comparative linguistics in the century of Schneckl to Fick or whatever. So I was like, man, that's disheartening, right? Because I know y'all throwing that D out, but you're not even saying nothing authentic. You saying a catchphrase that you used in the debate 10 years ago about another subject. Not about whether Kim means black. This is about whether Egyptian and Coptic. Nobody did that work too. But we ain't even got to the punchline, y'all. This is just a bunch of buffoonery. It was so bad to me 10 years ago, I said, let me write this shit down and document it, put them boys in lights. And I'm not like, yo, you could get your shit talked about until you atone for it. After people say I was out of pocket, like when Asar said that he tried to come on and debunk me about Nefertari, then he had the wrong Nefertari, he knew to come out and apologize for that hella quick because he know how I am. I'm going to have that in lights for the next 25 years. So now I'm not going to do it because he did the right thing as a man. He said I was wrong, he was right, and let's move on. And I said, cool, let's do that. But y'all wouldn't do that about Kim being black. Y'all just tried to sweep the shit under the rug, get y'all ass whooped, tried to pop back out on another subject, and the people wasn't rocking with that. So you got like a week of surprise views, and then people said he ain't got shit to say. He ain't said nothing. He ain't even addressing the shit we all watching to see if he gonna say something about. So I'm not watching no more. Then I looked in the week and it was down to 5 views again. I was like, damn, that's fucked up. That ain't ultimately what nobody want. I'm just like, now cats just giving up on that. So was you trying to disseminate information or was you trying to build a YouTube? Let's be clear. I'm trying to build a YouTube. But y'all clearly see that in my efforts to disseminate information don't got nothing to do with the auxiliary I'm using. And see, I think that's the problem. People might get it confusing. If YouTube wouldn't exist, I wouldn't be trying to build a YouTube, but I'd still be talking about this shit I'm talking about. Right? So it's the same for others, but then I'm going to ask you, then why you leave when ain't nobody watching? You can't say I leave when ain't nobody watching. You see me with 3 people still, all right, fuck it. Y'all don't want to see, but if my true intention, right, is disseminating the information, whether YouTube was a thing or not, then I shouldn't get discouraged ultimately when my viewership go down because I'm talking about something I really love. So then how could you run from this whole shit and not stream no more? Something wrong. That's what I'm saying. You just trying to sell some classes. And I ain't hating on doing that. I think that's cool to do, to sell classes and to disseminate. But don't just try to do that shit and when you lost and you look, that shit look weak. Take your L like a man. Shit. But anyway, I ain't even got to the good parts of this video. I take all my L's like a man. I try the best to do it. Because I learned, because people who didn't cap didn't learn how to do that shit well. You might have learned another way to do it. But I learned, I could probably open up the chat, but it's 12 a.m. where I'm at. So, you know, I ain't even, I'll open it up when the lights come back on, bro. You feel me? Nah, my whole family sleep if I open up the chat. I could if y'all wanted to host, if James could host. But I'll just go listen in the other room. But now I want to finish doing this right now, Solomon. Thanks for asking. How else can you do etymology work but by matching meaning as well as the phonology and choosing the terms? So now watch how this goes. We must remember that in this sense, linguistics, proto means it is unattested, hypothetical, and reconstructed to be what we believe is the parent language. That still stands true. It says, it should be clear now that Ujahu was in error in making claims about the lack of work done to show the relationship between Middle Egyptian and Coptic. That's all I was concerned about illustrating back then, but watch this. In a discussion with Asar Imhotep, now this is about to get crazy, all of which can be seen on Facebook, you can still go look at this, in the Medu Netra group, I was asked a confusing question. The reason why this is confusing is because my stance has not changed, and it ain't changed to right now. Right now. As will be evident in the document as well as in the initial post on Facebook. Mid-correspondence with Asar. This is long correspondence. Now listen what he wrote. Why didn't you quote exactly what you said, Jonathan? I will repost in a second time so you don't miss it. Hey, y'all, this is him posting me to front me off to the whole Facebook stream about what I said. Now read what I said. You're going to be like, get out of here. Jonathan in all capitals. Yes, Coptic was born out of Demotic from Late Egyptian, which was born out of Middle Egyptian from Old Egyptian. Bruh, that is 100% facts to this day. You see how these dudes switch up so much? Now watch this. This is why I don't even be tripping. I be needing some more scrupulous opponents or whatever. You know, somebody who like on a level. When I could show you do this type of shit, you just completely could never grumble with me. Anytime we talk, I'll just show people this shit. Look, did you not say that, Jonathan? He's confronting me and fronting me off in front of anybody who does, because none of the people under us knew none of this shit. Only the people over us knew this. It would be elders with their arms crossed looking down like, if you don't stop this boy smash, they wouldn't get in the conversation. But I know that's what they were saying because they had to be. Now look, he telling people that I'm out of pocket for this statement. I really want y'all to fucking hear this again. Jonathan, this is what I said. Yes, Coptic was born out of Demotic from Late Egyptian, which was born out of Middle Egyptian from Old Egyptian. Did you not say this, Jonathan? What does born out of Middle Egyptian mean? You are arguing that Coptic is a direct descendant of Middle Egyptian via Demotic? This is all capitals precisely, y'all. This is all capitals precisely what I am arguing against, as demonstrated by the work of Mboli. You see what happened? Mboli let them boys down. That's what happened when you stand on somebody, work that hard, and authoritatively you get put in lights. So now he front me off of teaching what you can find in any chat GPT, anywhere, any book will tell you this. Now he asked what was born out of. I worded it that way on purpose. Because really, you can say, well, no, Demotic, yeah, we'll have Coptic. No, Late Egyptian, yeah, we'll have Coptic. But all of those statements would not be true. Because things develop along lines, and the necessity for new scripts is all what we're really talking about. It comes up naturally. The necessity for the new script Coptic wasn't for the Egyptians who already knew the Medu Neter. The necessity for that script was for some people who came in who was saying Medu Neter words who couldn't read Medu Neter. It's just that simple. So they gave them a simplified one symbol script with 50% of the... Somebody Google it. Dang, why I gotta keep saying this? Let's go to ChatGPT. We're gonna see. GPT. Everybody know this. Coptic is all Medu Neter words. What is the inventory of the Coptic lexicon? What does the inventory of the Coptic lexicon consist of? Lexicon consists of. Now, I'm going to say not what is. What does the inventory of the Coptic lexicon concerning etymology? The inventory of the Coptic lexicon is fascinating when examining from the etymological perspective. Ancient Egyptian roots is number one. The last stage of the ancient Egyptian language, is this precisely what I'm arguing against? Coptic, the last stage of the ancient Egyptian language written in the modified Greek alphabet, reflects a blend of linguistic layers. I don't like they say modified Greek alphabet, but we could talk about that later. Reflects a blend of linguistic layers accumulated over millennia of contact and cultural evolution. Here are some of the main components concerning its etymology. Look, now why they say, oh, they did this so good. Ancient Egyptian roots and Greek loan words. God, busted somebody's wig right there. Loan words are words pulled from another language into the stock of another's language. They're not the basic. You're not going to have a language built on loan words. Why the hell would Greeks have all loan words in their own language? This is not a Greek language. Like, I mean, you need the people to understand that Coptic ain't even a language because it was a script, and 50% of the words was Medu Neter. Now, I said 50%. They going to probably update that to 70%. But let's look. Egyptian roots, the predominant source. Most Coptic vocabulary derives directly from the earlier stages of Egyptian language, including Old, Middle, and Late Egyptian, as well as Demotic. You can't make this up. Before ChatGPT, I was ChatGPT for Asar now. And they didn't even want to believe that God sent them some AI named Smash Rockwell. Here he is. Let me finish reading his refutation that sounds just so stupid. This is precisely what I am arguing against. He's arguing precisely against what ChatGPT just said. This is precisely what I'm arguing against as demonstrated by the work of Mboli. You quoted me, but you didn't understand the argument, and you prove it by showing just why Neter, he's talking about Neter Nab, why Neter kept making the same errors, which was also pointed out by both you, him, pointed out to both you and him by Ujahu. Cut it out. This was my response. Well. Theophile Obanga was the one who submitted the hypothesis that Coptic is the direct descendant of Middle Egypt via Demotic, not Brother Jonathan. He ain't even been reading these books, bruh. I mean, this is another lamb blasting. So that's why when y'all was thinking that they could deal with me with the Kemet, I was kicking back like, boy, y'all niggas tripping. These some little dudes from down the block that got hands put on before that's trying to come back and get some get back. And if you're seeing anything else from what I'm showing you, then you just don't even really rock the way I rock. You know, they say 16 different personality traits. I don't expect all my viewers to really like think my trait is they trait. But I know at least 1 out of 16 of y'all is like, hell fucking yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then it don't even work like that. All the personality traits ain't in conflict. So just because you ain't mine, even though you only got one personality trait, 10 of the other ones rock with you. They just ain't just like you. They wouldn't say it like you or something like that. You said, do you still use that same Google number I called you before some years ago? That's interesting. You came across some text when we corresponded. I think I used to use that. I think I still might have that old Google number, bruh. Because Google only hits you like once every 4 or 5 years talking about update your number. And I ain't got that hit. I think I still might have that Google number. It was like a 9 something or whatever. Yeah. But let's continue. You can use Mboli's work to refute Obanga all you want. You feel me? But unless you are qualified to teach what you read in Mboli's work pertaining directly to Coptic, and not that beer, that beret and beer, do you believe this fool said it's 2 new language groups called beret and beer? I know if you know something about beret and beer, don't think I'm unknowledgeable of it. I'm laughing at the whole nonsense. Dude, let me take these 2 terms and put them in Google. I'm taking these terms, putting them in Google. Bruh. You cannot make this up. This dude got some language groups that do not pop up in Google. This one of his language groups. You think I'm playing? Dog, y'all think I'm going too far because it's jovial to me and I'm not all the way serious all the time. I'm sincere, but it ain't no need to be like all rigid about this. This is funny to me. Beret and Beer created two new groups that reclassified Coptic as being a different language, y'all. Do any of my linguist people know anything about what you hear on the screen right here? Beret and Beer created two new groups that reclassify Coptic as being a different language. Well, I tore this shit up. Jargon. Demonstrated. Show how Mboli reclassified Coptic as being a different language. Show how Mboli deduces such conclusions. We all know how Mbanga did this, but I will have to wait for Mboli's book since Sassar has not won. Articulated what makes Mboli's hypothesis any more valid than Mbanga's. 2. Cite what Mboli said specifically about Coptic's relationship to Middle Egyptian and the evidence that supports his hypothesis against Mbanga's Copte language family. The language classification by Mbanga supports my claim that Coptic was born out of Middle Egyptian via Demotic. See Mbanga's chart below. Now watch this. It says the term Copte is halfway cropped out. I'm going to keep reading this, then we'll look at the chart. Where's the evidence of Mboli reconstructive validity on this thread? Where are the reviews of his work? Mbanga's would be at UNESCO Symposium 1974 and the lack of refudations that his hypothesis has encountered since. Now I had to go back to this. You are arguing that Coptic is a direct descendant of Middle Egyptian and Demotic? I'm about to ask ChatGPT that. Since it just told me this, watch this. I'm going to take his words and put a question mark. You are arguing that Coptic is a direct descendant of ME via Demotic. Watch him game that dummy. Yes, Coptic is indeed direct descendant of Middle Egyptian through the evolutionary stages of the... Oh my God, he wish he had ChatGPT back then. Including Demotic. Here's how linguistic lineage is supported. Continuity across stages. Man, I ain't gonna read this for y'all because I already knew this when ChatGPT wasn't out. But he didn't. Now here's the thing. If you're new to this discourse, to this channel and this show, this is like an old, youth Facebook rival, knowledge rival. It's not like no enemy. Don't get that twisted. I like the relationship to be able to beat them up because they only pop up every 2-3 years with a new theory that I'll just document. Now they pop back up and told everybody Kemet don't mean black land and Kim don't mean black. It mean water, wet. Write that down, y'all, because in 10 years, it's going to be just as good as this. You dealing with some crazies. Let's see what else happened. So Asar is arguing against Mbanga, period. Please see Mbanga's language charts. See how far Mbanga has Bantu language away from the ancient Egyptian. See, this is what y'all got to stop doing, and I encourage any of my people, ancient Egyptian don't got to be Bantu to be black African. It can be indeed. And Coptic could be along that lineage. But it don't gotta be. That's all I'm saying. I'm with that. I'm on the side of the people who want to research more Bantu languages to find the connections between ancient Egyptian. But what y'all doing is rather silly, if you ask me. It's kind of like we got metal detectors on the beach, and it's a big ass metal thing sitting right there, and y'all, oh, no, I ain't looking for that. Coptic being the big ass metal thing, and we ain't looking for that. We just over here looking for some more metal. It might be more metal under the sun, under the sand. We're going to find it. We're going to search. We're going to dig. All right, but let's just stop because there's some metal right here. And whatever we're going to do with the metal when we get it, let's start doing it with this. That's what Obanga and them doing. So when I showed this chart, and I'm going to break this down to y'all. And I just told them what was broken off on the chart. So let me see if I can get the whole chart. Now look at this. So let me show you how even what a lot of us doing is we don't know that we kind of like going against Obanga. Now, and that's fine to do too. I'm just not saying it like that. But when you look at it, you start to learn, okay, hold on. How y'all amateurs are saying that it's Bantu and Obanga don't even say that. So now, right here we got if you can see this right here, it says Negro Egyptian. You see it right here. That's one language group that he said do not say Afro-Asiatic no more, right? We're going to go with Negro Egyptian. Now, for some reason, if I'm not wrong, or maybe I snipped the chart, or keep me, if anybody hears me say something and you're falling asleep and I say it wrong, just click on it and say, no, this happened. Because I don't see, and maybe that's what he did. I don't see nothing Semitic on there, which is very good. And so if you notice inside these language groups, I can't say all these names. Cauchiticu, I don't know. Chadic basically, but that's say Chadic. Nilo-Saharan and Nigero-Cordofian, right? Now, I want one of my linguist people to tell me right now, we dealing with this last list over here. I know because I got it highlighted because I was showing y'all where Obanga got Bantu. You see Bantu? And then it say 450 languages. Way over here, Nigerio-Cordofian. You come over here, under Negro Egyptian, we got Egyptian. And now I know, I'm sorry that the chart is cut off. It probably said something before Egyptian. I can't show you that. But what it says, Pharaonic, is what he said we should reclassify this as Pharaonic Egyptian. Well, we got Viele Egyptian, Moyen Egyptian, Neo-Egyptian, Egyptian Bas Epoch. So that's like in doing some specific epoch. And we got Demotic, right? Now, under Pharaonic Egyptian, which will be what we study, Theophile Obanga has next Coptic. See? If you can't see that this says Coptic, all you can see is a P, a T, and an E. All you got to do is look over here at all of the dialects he listed. And he listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dialects. I normally rock with 7 dialects. Shout out to you, Rasun, and thanks for the support. Let me see. He put Sahidic, Badaric, Bakhmontic, Fayumic, Achmonic, Middle Egyptian. Interesting. I told y'all. Because he has a dialect of Coptic that's the Middle Egyptian that is possibly lining right up. Let me ask you a question. I know now. I don't know French, but I'm wise enough to probably presume Vieille Egyptian is Old Egyptian. Moyen Egyptian is close to Middle Egyptian. And Neo-Egyptian is New Egyptian. Egyptian Bast Epoch is after New Egyptian before Demotic, but it's like a particular epoch. I don't know what that means. And Demotic, as we see, he got there last on there. That's the change he made. He took Coptic out of this list of subfamilies and just put it in a bigger group. Now, how does this make the dudes who was arguing against me 10 years look? Well, I mean, they got to be looking crazy. Because not like they didn't pose themselves as humble gentlemen who were learning 10 years ago. They condescended on me with every other word. Once you learn how to do this, as soon as you learn more African language, just once you begin to, everything is once you begin to do some shit. You get tired of that shit. You be like, I'm about to light y'all ass up. I ain't even know once you begin to, dude. I'm a battle rapper. I'll say that shit straight to you. I ain't gotta slight you to the side. I'll be like, that shit trash. You gonna be thinking somebody gonna say to your research, once you begin to, no, I'm not gonna do you like that. I'm gonna say, get that shit out of my face, cuz. You waste everybody's time. So what we see here out of Theophilo Banger's works is they don't agree with him. And to keep it clear for all my families, they say this is a branch of African languages. That's what I argue. This is how I understand Coptic the way Obang and them taught it. This is another black language. Under Negro Egyptian. Let's not throw it away thinking because some other people used it that now it ain't cool. Now we got to find something blacker to attach Egyptian to in order to prove something. Man, I thought y'all was up too late. I would have opened up the chat, but I didn't think it was gonna go well this late. It's already 12. Right now, I'll be thinking about, okay, how I'm gonna do the morning. I'm still gonna get up and work, man. But I don't have to so much. Like, god damn. Sometimes I'll be treating myself like, what is this life about? Like, why I'm just working and stuff? Like, why don't I just be an artist? I don't know. I wasn't raised that way. That's why, because my daddy worked, and so it's just in me like that. Like I start getting a guilty feeling if you could get some bread anywhere, no matter what, and you ain't getting it, I'll be like guilty. People be like, oh no, that ain't got nothing to do with money, nothing. It's just about, dude, you just gonna sit on the couch. Like right now, after I turn this off, I got some time to go play a game that I ain't played in like maybe 2 months. If I turn the game on, I'm going to start getting this guilt feeling in under 3 minutes. Like, man, you could be doing something else. You could be writing a book. You could be learning something. I just be having to tell that shit, shut up. Let me relax for a minute. But anyway, I'm going to keep going. Now that y'all see this. Is Mboli's language phylum perfect? This is not a rhetorical question. Point 3 again. This wasn't an argument made by a half-ass assumption or the imagination of a quack who decided he's going to be a linguist on the holidays in his spare time. This conclusion was made after a rigorous analysis and application of the scientific comparative method. See, that's when I found out them niggas was, I ain't gonna say that S word. Grifting or something. They got these terms that sound hot, like scientific comparative method. And then when the first little riparians was growing up out of that black silk, when the first little riparianites start growing up out the black silk because Wu tried to get clever and put together some session shit. Like, oh, hold on, everybody that you taught metal nature is a crew? Well, then why they pay you? How y'all set this up? No, I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying it like, if we rocking, y'all just, no, that's your class, dude. The session is your class. They ain't rocking with you. I mean, they is, but, in a way they're not. I appreciate you too, Tony. Thanks for that. I got a new album I just put out tonight. It says, I'm up and don't stop because I'm going to take this information on my debates to TikTok. Yeah, do that, Tony. Oh, what you need? I'm going to hit you off. I'm going to stay off TikTok and I'll just fuel you with some shit. I even send you some shorts that'll wound they wig. Because I ain't in the TikTok space, but if you need something about this conversation, I will offer it to you. Now, notice here, I even had to take Dr. Clyde Winter's side, even though y'all want to throw Clyde away, because you listen to some younger people who be telling y'all to treat the elders like that. They be like, it's okay to disregard your elders and call them a quack because you don't agree with them. I always thought that was dishonorable, and you ain't found me on no show where they was going hard at Dr. Clyde Winters. Go look back through all these days. I thought that was some sucker shit. Right? And certain shows I just stay off of. Now, so what if you don't agree with this brother all the way? I don't. There's totally a way to disagree without talking about him. Right? Like you talk about his information. Without discrediting
Upper Egypt and Meroitic Sudan introduced the Tocharian language and Karachi script to the Meroites. My decipherment of Meroitic is based on the Kushana theory. The Kushana theory is that a group of Buddhist scholars, the Gymnosophists, introduced Tocharian and the Karachi script to the Meroites.
No, I don't agree. But I'm about to just throw him away no, I'm not. He probably know more than me talking about Buddhism in Upper Egypt, but you would want to throw that out. Nevertheless, you're not going to throw out the baby with the bathwater. Thank you, right? You just say, Elder, we on some new research right now. It don't look like that. But I knew back then what it was. So this is what happened. This is what really happened. I put up a post that Dr. Clyde Winters said about Mboli. Of course, I use quotation marks because that shit is unfair. If you don't use quotation marks, you a biter. You be biting, right? But look, Dr. Clyde Winters does a demonstration below that proves more than what you have done. I mean, that provides more than what you have on Mboli's book. I'm saying he's telling me more about Mboli's book than your book, and here go a quote from him. The whole book is the proof, and is why you can't simply isolate bits and pieces of a text and attempt to discredit a whole analysis. In order for you to discredit what he has done, you have to do what scientists do. No, this is him, and this is Asar coming at me. You have to do what scientists do, and that is write something comparable I gotta write a 600-page book. Write something comparable going point for point of why and how the other person was in error. Brother Star, I still have not penned a word against Mboli or his work. And at this time, that was true. I ain't never said nothing about his work. But he didn't see that what I did was gave him Dr. His opinion on the work. But you cannot see that I'm asking you questions about the work that you seem unable to answer. So you say once you read the book. I don't know if bullheaded is an African phenotype, but you have somehow missed another opportunity to teach. You have, however, done a wonderful job of promoting the book sales of Jean-Claude Mboli. I will get it. Copying and pasting online forum debates is not scholarship. That's what he said 10 years ago. I said, I disagree. Copy and paste is a digital way to reproduce literature and recent attestations and citations. If the debate was scholarly, it does not matter the format one uses to duplicate the text. It could be an oral debate, and then I will cite it if it bears credible evidence for my case. Also, you were addressed by the speaker in my copy and paste excerpt. See, this is what I'm trying to say. I copied and pasted Dr. Clyde Winneman's refutation of Mboli, and instead of him addressing the refutation inside of the copy and paste, he just said copy and paste in online forum debates is not scholarship. But you was getting beat up in that debate. I disagree. Copy and pasting is a digital way to reproduce literature and recent attestations and citations. If the debate was scholarly, it does not matter the format one uses to duplicate the text. It could be an oral debate, and I'll cite it if it bears credible evidence for my case. Also, you were addressed by the speaker in my copy and paste excerpt and assumed the position of debater. But when I reproduced the refutation of your argument by Dr. Clyde Winters from the same debate, it is anti-scholastic? This fool said copying and pasting online forum debates is not scholarship, y'all. But it was him in the online debate that I was copying and pasting. Like it was the dude going against him. So I'm like, hold on. But when I reproduced the refutation of your argument by Dr. Clyde Winters from the same debate, it's all of a sudden anti-scholastic. Who are you trying to fool? The other debater, Dr. Clyde Winters, was in full communication with me when I posted his words. So really, this is just a failed attempt to discredit your opponent, as I have seen you fail at this so many times. It would behoove you to realize objectivity promotes credibility. Credibility breeds validity. This is why certain works of yours are received by the elders in the field as nonsensical. You have no objectivity, therefore you lack credibility. I don't even want to talk about that part. I don't want to read them parts. But anyway, this is him getting at me. Mischaracterizing people's arguments is a sign of poor quality and method. And a lack of understanding of the nature of the debate and why certain issues are key. So he's still saying all this stuff about Coptic not being related to ancient Egyptian, by the way. Well, it's all right, by your own merits, it seems that you are the one guilty of poor methodology. If it ain't no scholarship in here, I'm not going to read these parts. That's just bickering. So this is when he was mischaracterizing my argument. Now here is where I proved that I never said nothing about Mboli, and I just took a quote from Dr. Clyde Winters, who killed Mboli. Now watch this. If Asar can't find one word I penned in critique of Mboli's book, he is clearly mischaracterizing He's cleared of the mischaracterization charge if he can find one. He never did. In actuality, Asar is the one mischaracterizing my argument if I am here to refute Mboli's work. That is not the character of my argument. You submitted Mboli's work to refute my claims that Coptic is the last stage of ancient Egyptian. This is crazy. If Asar cannot produce my critiques, you see how far I had to go for this? I'm still reading. If Asar cannot produce my critiques on Mboli's work, he can be considered incredible because as we see, his whole argument is based on his own logical fallacy. Asar holds fast to the notion that Dr. Clyde Winters did not view Mboli's work. So now I didn't view the work in the same way they do the same shit. The same way I didn't view the work, Dr. Clyde Winters didn't view the work. Now, maybe if you're a linguist or if you into it like that, you look at the stuff and you ain't gonna read 600 pages of nonsense. So here's the initial quote that he charged me of going against Mboli's work. But Dr. Clyde Winters agreed with me, and I posted what Dr. Clyde Winters said. So look, below are Dr. Winters' remarks before seeing Mboli's work. He mentions Asar with according to Asar. All right? This is before seeing Mboli's work. African language changed much slower than European languages. He gave the source. He says, as a result, you cannot use a European model of language change to describe events in African linguistics. He's trying to game you already, Asar. Damn. And gave you the source to go read. For example, African vocabulary items collected by Arab explorers over thousands of years ago are analogous to contemporary lexical items. All right, and gave you the source to look at that. Although Mboli, according to Asar, does not recognize Coptic as an aspect of Egyptian, there are striking resemblances between the ancient Egyptian language and Coptic. See, he's trying to tell you like a scholar. And y'all be disrespecting this man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mboli, although according to Asar, does not recognize Coptic as an aspect of the Egyptian, there are striking resemblances between the ancient Egyptian language and Coptic, and the Pharaonic Egyptian and African languages, which indicate, now he said Pharaonic Egyptian, so you already know he owned Diop. He owned Diop and Obanga's side of the argument. By the way, the terms he's using. And because Pharaonic Egyptian is not a language group in nobody's work but Mboli now. Smash, when was the Portuguese pulled up? Was there active slave markets? Did the Pope know about the African slave trade before the transatlantic slave trade? Yeah, the Pope knew about that slave trade. Look into Bartholomew de Costas, I think. Somebody could correct that name. It just popped in my head when you asked. Bartholomew de Costas. Let me see. I don't know. Yeah, dang, he just popped up. This is a different Bartholomew. This Bartholomew the Apostles. I know de Costas, I think. Bartholomew de Castas. Here we go. Yeah, Bartholomew de las Casas. So do some research on him, and then when you're done with that, tap back in. Because when you look, you're going to see what he had to do. Look, protector of the Indians. Well, I don't know if that's true. But look into all of this stuff and see. He had something to do with not the commissioning, but I think to invite the commissioning of some type of, I don't want to read all this right now. So you tap back into me and let me know why he was good to read about that subject, Wasi. You probably could do it now. Look, Lacosta's first encounter with indigenous peoples happened before he even sailed to the Americas. So that's kind of answering one of your questions. In the histories of the Indians, he wrote Christopher Columbus returned to Seville in 1493. Lacosta's recorded having seen 7 Indians in the entourage of Christopher Columbus being exhibited in the vicinity of Okay, beautiful green patriotism, vibrant color, and indigenous artifacts. Let's look. I want to see about his slavery. What he had to do with slavery. But this wasn't before. Yeah, Bartholomew, he was a priest when the first Spanish explorer. He was not a protector. Exactly. He made a council. Okay, thank you. Yeah, you breaking it down right there. But I wanted to see, I'm remembering him from some commissions that happened. Right? All right, this is the part. La Costas and King Ferdinand. So this is the part we want to see. La Costas arriving in Spain with the plan of convincing the king to end the... What system is this? Act like this is slavery. The
Encomienda.
The encomienda system. It is a grant by the Spanish crown to the colonists in America conferring the right to demand tribute and forced labor from the Indian inhabitants of the area. So they saying he was trying to stop it. Man, they probably rewrote this shit. That ain't what I learned. Now all of a sudden, see, they rewriting history. Now all of a sudden he trying to stop it? Bruh. Oh man, we in a wild world. When I learned about him, I didn't know about him about no stopping no damn slavery. Dude, they about to change everything. They about to change everything. Now they're saying right here he was trying to stop the shit. That's what I learned, Michelle O's, was that he convinced them to go get some Africans. But they saying here, oh, well, they say just for the Indians. Okay.
Encomienda.
Yep. Yeah, that's just for the Indians. That ain't for your black, but let me see. Pharaonic Egyptian and African languages which indicate continuity between and among the speakers of Negro Egyptian. So when he says Negro Egyptian, it lets you know he on Diop's side of things. Moreover, if Mboli is of the opinion that Coptic is not an Egyptian language, even though it is the language we use to read ancient Egyptian, he don't even have a model of post-classic Egyptian. We don't even have a model of post-classic Egyptian. Damn, he killed them. That's a good point. So if Coptic ain't the last stage of Egyptian, then what is post-classic Egyptian? Like what's after all of the Egyptian we know? What did it just stop with demonic, huh? Let's see. Now here's a brief synopsis of Dr. Clyde Winner's examination after viewing Mboli's reconstructions. Asar said this didn't transpire. See, look, y'all. This should be fake. Anybody gonna say they have not done the work is making you think they doing the work. I proved the first time that he said nobody had done the work and nobody had read Mboli's book that both of them that's just jargon. So I said, here's a brief synopsis of Dr. Clyde Winner's examination after viewing Mboli's reconstructions. Because the first post I posted was before he read the book. And you can see the way his voice changes. This Asar said did not transpire. The reconstructions of Mboli for cattle, lamb, ram, and horse are below. In these reconstructions, Mboli introduces a fricative or aspirated element represented by the pH to his reconstructions of Proto-Negro Egyptian to indicate articulation of the consonant. The addition of the H and the W was unnecessary because the African forms of the word cattle, horse, and etc. do not need aspiration. But I think he meant aspiration. I don't know. It says aspiration, so I'm just going to say what it says. Let's look at the term for cattle and cow. Much of the evidence related to the pastoral way of life comes from the discovery of cattle bones at excavated sites in the Sahara dating to 7,000 to 2000 BC and the rock drawings of cattle, McIntosh and McIntosh in 1981. In the Western Sahara, sites such as Ergen Sakani in the Ergen Sakani region and the Taodini Basin of northern Mali suggest a cattle husbandry between 6,000 and 5,000 before period. The Ovi-Capri husbandry, whatever that was. Now I got some words be so far off, I gotta pop them in the thing. The Ovi-Capri, nah, we need to see what that do. What that do, bro? Oh, you ain't gonna. So the way to make you read it, you gotta click in the Oxford Dictionary. Then they could read it for you. What? It ain't even in here. Here it go.
Overcaprid. Overcaprid.
Oh, y'all knew what overcaprid meant? I don't know what that means. The overcaprid husband, but it's right here, y'all. It ain't no definition. There are 2 minutes listening for the word overcaprid. See the meaning and use. Man, I need an account to learn what the word means. I'm going to stay stupid for now. So look, the overcaprid husbandry, on the other hand, began in this area between 5,000 and 3,000 BC. Cattle pastoral people began to settle in Dartichet and in Karkar-Ichikot. And in Karkar-Ichikot between 5,000 and 3,500 BP. This is his analysis of Mboli that dude said didn't happen. The term for cattle, cow, in various African languages show much correspondence. Below, we will compare the term for cow from various African languages. Egyptian Ng or Nog. I don't even know where he got that from. Wolof Nog. Let's just qualify that. What do you mean Ng in Egyptian, bro? Don't mess with me. I think he left, yeah, because when I gotta put another consonant here to get his rendering. All right. Not really, but yeah. Let's see how many of these are there. To kill, to open, to break. All right, Nago, cattle. All right. So that means he ain't playing. Wolof, Ng, Nog, a Wolof, Nog. We got the Pelu or the Fulfulde, excuse me, Nog. Angus, Ning. In Anque, we got Ning. In Susu, we got Ninge. In Nuri, we have Yang. I ain't gonna do that because it sounds dumb with the African languages because I need y'all help at getting better at that. So, but you can see all of these cognates right there, right? So, let me see. This is what he listed. The correspondence between African term for cattle support the archaeological evidence for the earliest domestication of cattle in the Proto-Sahara. He says this view is supported by the similarity in the term for cow and cattle of speakers of Mande, Niger Congo, Chadic, and Afro-Asiatic superset. The oldest written evidence from Africa comes from the Egyptian language. That's what I be saying. Now let's slow down. People be, damn, I need to put that sentence into my Rolodex. Why you study matter? Because the oldest written evidence from Africa comes from the Egyptian language. But I'm saying though, do y'all know who? I just make an anonymous voice for a dummy. The people who be antagonizing your teachings or antagonizing your, progress. I don't be thinking of nobody in particular. I just say, why you studying the ancient Egyptian language? Because the oldest written evidence from Africa comes from the ancient Egyptian language. Anybody got some contention with that? That's why we study it. The Egyptian term for cattle, cow, were ng and nab. In other African languages, you find either the consonantal n prefix before the consonant g or k. E.g., envy. Now, this just right here, I can understand it. You won't fool me into thinking you're more qualified because the shit you spitting out is not as easily understandable as what Clyde Winters is saying and demonstrating. You didn't demonstrate nothing like this about what Mboli was talking about. He got formulas on the screen. In other African languages, we find either the consonant N before the consonant GK, e.g. NV, VGK, or the nasal consonant N before the vowels I and Y, and the A, that is, before N, I, and A, Nia, or NYA, Nia. This evidences cognition in African terms for cattle shows considerable correspondence in consonantal and vowel roots. He's still going. Niger Congo, Nilotic, Mande, Chadic, Egyptian. With correspondences within the roots. Niger Congo, Nilotic, Mande, Chadic, Egyptian. The linguistic evidence supports the view that the Paleo-African term for cattle, cow, was in or ng or nk and nia. This data also makes it clear that G and K were interchangeable consonants long before this. Now, this is the cold part. He jacked this part from Clyde Winters, but threw away the rest of his argument. I support our work. If y'all do books, whether I agree with y'all books, I'm gonna buy them too. Until you do something egregious, like just do something. So I got these works. This data also makes it clear that G and K were interchangeable consonants long before the separation of the speakers of Negro Egyptian into distinct African cultural and linguistic groups. Proto-Negro Egyptian terms. Now, hold on, let's trip off this real quick before I go back up here. Proto-terms usually have a in front of each term. He breaking it down. So when you got the little star in front of the term, it's not a real word. So don't let nobody hit you off with a proto word, right? And be saying, well, there go a Kim that mean cattle. He messed this up. I can help you with this proto word. You taking cattle, you're supposed to get black out of this. But he said no, because I got all these other Kims, right? Kim, whatever. It would be a Kinway. Right? But I'm not switching the subject. I'm just looking at this chart here. It says this review of the linguistic evidence for cow, cattle, and African languages does not support Mboli's proto-term for cattle. You feel me? These words from Mboli, page 591. Now, if you got a 600-page book and somebody is analyzing page 591, Maybe they was hella clever and they just started from the back of the book to give some analysis to make it seem like they read 600 pages or something. Nonsense. How could you say he ain't read the book when I provide you with an analysis of the work from page 591? That don't mean you read the book, but it means you read page 591. And if in your discourse you're speaking about material that was before that, it's safe to say you might have read up to that point. The linguistic evidence for African terms for cattle make it clear the Proto-Negro Egyptian term would not be aspirated. All right. So he's saying there was a Proto-Egyptian word with a K and an M and whatever that, and we know what this represents. This is a fake word. It's a reconstruction. I think he reconstructing this off cattle, but he should be reconstructing this. Kim was a black cattle in Egypt. It wasn't all cattle. It appears that Mboli reconstructed this term. It appears that Mboli reconstructed this term with aspirations to make it analogous to Proto-Indo-European terms for cattle. It appears to be that Mboli's reconstruction of Proto-Negro Egyptian terms. Now this sounds like a fair analysis. Don't sound like nobody hating. Hold up, I'm almost done. Then it appears that Mboli reconstructed this term. Okay, I read that. This is the last sentence. So Asar has been proven wrong multiple times. Dr. Winters displayed that he has viewed the material and has given us a better example of the intricacies of Mboli's work than Asar Imhotep has. Asar talks about the book. Dr. Winters talks about the content and methodology of the author. Now, we was just talking about this term earlier, and look, 14 years ago, I was writing it that way, right? Emi-er is not Emi-ra. Here's another way I want to prove what I know is Emi-er. Because if you look at this word, right, it's a cognate with this word.
Amer. Amer.
Now, I'm going to go into Amir. And you see Emi-er right here, damn near. You really don't see it, but you do see it. I'm going to show you when we go to etymology. Amir is also spelled Amir. If you put a hyphen between here, you see Emi-er. You would also see it right here, Amir. But let me show you when we go to the etymology. It got to be in the etymology. If they don't say that, they're going to get in trouble. I mean, it was also the 5 most popular black newborn boys in the American state of Virginia in 2000. What? Oh, they was using that name for black boys. Okay. I want to look for etymology. Let me see something. See, that's a name. You got to go Admiral. Amir Admiral. Now look, this comes from the ancient Egyptian term. Here it goes. That's say Amir. You don't see it? Now you see how our word Admiral say Amir. You go back to Emi-er in Egypt. Watch this. Etymology. The word Admiral from the Middle English comes from the Anglo-French Admiral, which came from the Middle Latin Admiralis. These evolved from the Arabic Admiral, commander, prince, nobleman, lord. Now, if they don't go back to the ancient Egyptian, they hella boozy. All right, that's good. They ain't gonna take you back there for it. They often do that. They just stop with the etymology and won't show you as a word before that that means the same thing. But I know how to find it. Because the internet ain't no punk. So you just put what you want to put in Google. Watch this. Watch this. I'm going to put MERIMY-ER, then put Admiral. ADMIRAL. What? And then put Amir, AMIR. All right, well then I made that up then. Don't even believe it. Because it ain't in Google, then don't believe me. And I'll just have to teach you later. You feel me? If I can't qualify it, only stick with the stuff I can qualify. I know that to be true, but I can't show you. You feel me? So throw that out. But yeah, I can't really. Go into here. Put Admiral in an Egyptian dictionary. ADMIRAL. I ain't got it in here. Overseer. If they don't act like they got that in there. All right, this is 3 hours on the late night. Thanks for watching. I did it good. I want to go get something to eat. It's like 1 o'clock where I'm at. My wife made some cool spaghetti the other night. That ain't my reader. I don't be like a spaghetti dude. You need a smash burger. A smash burger. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. I was up on the late night board. Oh, somebody had a question I didn't answer. I don't know. I hear the sound breaking up. No, that's your phone, bro. My sound ain't breaking up over here. I might have messed up on Bartholomew da Costa, so I'm going to do some reading on him and maybe do a whole show about him for the brother who asked about that. Everything y'all recommend is content. Questions, give me content. And don't be thinking like I'm the type of person you don't want to ask something. That's some bullshit. Now I'm going to go take y'all out with one of my new songs from the new album and we out of here. I was listening to it like it was kind of banging. You know when I do these albums, but I record this material.
As far as a name, an ancient Egyptian having a name, Kem. And it happened
I recorded
not
it so long ago.
I can sympathize with
if you
the impulse to sort of to be very strident.
All right, I'm up out of here. Don't leave just because I'm going to play a song on the way out. That's kind of corny. My new album just dropped. Why not listen? That's some support. This song right here is real heartfelt. It's called Be Real, and I like it a lot. I'm going to play it, and then we go. This is my brand new album. 1 month after dropping Fights After. So that's why I didn't put the Fights Over Egypt album on all streaming platforms. Because I had an album coming 1 month later on all streaming platforms. And I didn't want them to be feeling no kind of way. Like, oh, he dropped the album 1 month before. Y'all see all this stuff over here helping me get my views up? I could go to your page and bust you out right now. I wouldn't do that. All right, y'all. Listen to these.
Like Sesame Street.
On the late night, I hate when I do that because you got to tell people when music about to come on. Because on the late night, some people, I'll be listening with headphones or something. Somebody just throw a song on. Blew my ears out. So yeah, I'm about to end with this song on my brand new album. Just came out tonight. If y'all want to listen to some of it, anybody ever get interested, it's the Starduster, Casual Albert Jenkins. You know that boy got bars. But I wasn't trying to spit no bars on this song. It's something I felt from the heart. And it ain't even like no words about pseudo or none of that stuff in here. It's simply about being real. All right? Peace. We out. Listen to this song. I'm rolling up too. I mean, not like that. Peace. We out. I shouldn't have messed that up.
Life is like a one-way street. Yeah, some may eat, others still trying to get on their feet. We live through what we spit on the beat. and speak life. Most who rap about death or deceased. Man has confidence in the weapon he keeps. The wrong move, you can put yourself in jeopardy deep. Most men don't prepare for defeat. The word of the day is real, it's like Sesame Street. Sometimes when a man got a message he preaches, I ain't religious, but I listen to the lesson he teaches. They call it fate when our destiny reaches. And most of the time for rappers, it be something that he said through the speakers. And often that'll seal the deal. My legendary commentary on the game like Shaquille O'Neal. Everybody want mass appeal, but don't fake it till you make it just. They stuntin' for the gram and they do it for likes. Social media can ruin your life. Be faking frontin' for some folks you never knew in your life. Look at him now, about to post what he doing tonight. She flew in on a flight from the Philippines. Hairdo sharper than the blade on the guillotine. Reputation like Goliath the Philistine. And she take care of her kids, that's the realest thing. Take care of yourself, they try and kill us, king. I read glyphs, I can tell you what the writing on the pillars mean. We bust moves, cats pump faking, acting like they ready and then they can't make it. I can't take it when cats be fake. I be out like catch me later. On the real, you gotta deal with yourself if no one else. At least be real with yourself. Sometimes you just gotta be real. Ain't no sense in frontin' this, how talking to a psychologist feels. You gotta acknowledge the truth you're trying to conceal. It's how giving an apology feels. Just don't romanticize or fantasize. It is what it is till it's glamorized. Then it seems bigger. You gotta scheme quicker. Forget all that. Just don't let the ill thoughts get with you. Keep your eyes on the big picture. Watch it close like your kid sister. It went down like that. That's how they did you. It shouldn't be real if it's incriminating. The judge and the jury, the lawyers can be intimidating. If their goal is to eliminate you, then it's no mandate to.
Now this just came out, I gotta hear that other one before I go to bed. You know when something come out, you hear it fresh for the first time. I got one more joint I gotta hear out there before I go to bed. Let me see. Not that one, it was that first one. I was gassing. That's the only song I tried to do rapidy rap shit on. Everything else was like supposed to be from the heart or introspective. But when cats be wanting to know if I got bars, I always give them one of these. If you close your eyes, it's late night. Some people listening in the bed. I guarantee you, if you close your eyes and listen to this, what I'm about to play, it's going to be like you, and you try to follow the words and imagine the thoughts. You're going to be like in a hole. You about to see a hole. It's going to be like you hallucinating. Because if you see these, if you can see what I'm seeing when I say these lyrics, I'm trying to describe it to you. But I'm out of here. Peace. Thank y'all. Let's have this experience together. Everybody focus. It's late night. Focus on listening to these lyrics and take this little trip. I'm up out of here. Thank you, Lil Gal, for tapping in, but I'm on my way out. This is the new album I got put out today with my man Albert Jenkins. It's actually on all streaming platforms, and so it's going to be cool. This is an EP, actually. All right. See if you can hear some knowledge in these bars. Even though I start with just rolling up the weed, that's how it started. All right, I'm going to let y'all listen. Peace, peace, peace.
Just rolling up the weed, ladies stop by my page when they scrolling up they feed. So I block the young chicks that ain't old enough for trees, but I like whatever comment that they bold enough to leave. Rappers follow me cause rhymes from my catalog Read like an intergalactic battle log, satellite feed to the spaceship. When traveling, my documents are placed in the basement of the Vatican. When scientists try to duplicate my rhyme patterns, to do this they must lubricate the mind matter and find data to match the kind that I dispatch. I lace rhymes in the fabric of space-time. To meet you, I'm traveling back. Plenty of nights for him like Phineas when he stabbed that Midianite whore with the javelin. That's in the Torah. I'm in the more than just recording for the art of slaughter. I told the king to pay tribute and he brought his daughter. Exotic trees in my horticulture, fly aeronautic products for the vultures. Raps hidden in imported sculptures. Got my custom broker scrambling to meet me at the border open. Connect got money to lobby to keep the border open. You ain't got no rhymes or no style neither. Cats get confused, heard more lines than wild zebras. Yeah. Hey yo, you couldn't imagine the colors in my kaleidoscope.
I'm shooting a video for this in the morning. I'm about to kill him. Man, I at least need to do a text video or so I can do that right now. I'm about to wake my game up. Cats get confused, heard more lines than wild zebras. Man, cats don't even, man, put a rapper in my face. I'm 49. Go get somebody. Think if they could think of some shit like that. They don't even, what that mean? You're not even getting it yet. Cats get confused like when lions trying to attack a herd of wild zebras. Cats get confused because they heard more lines than wild zebras. It's only for the people who think that hard, bruh. Be at the house like, damn, he just bombed y'all. He said, you ain't got no rhymes and no style neither. Cats get confused, heard more lines than wild zebras.
More lines than wild zebras. Yeah. Hey yo, you couldn't imagine the colors in my kaleidoscope. The effervescent essence provided by my exotic folk. Regarded of how he plotted on nautical wavelengths and brought it from the basement to the pavement. The same shit as astrologists and astrophysicists. The love and knowledge of a lyricist is serious. The theory is mysteriously furious periods of time that it took. Fuck that, y'all ain't hearing it. If I'm capping on the track, is the capstone of the pyramid. I'm an expert and it's an experiment. And dropping metaphors is my favorite thing. I rock fly Jews, think David Slingshot.
And making metaphors, I'm out. Making metaphors, that's my favorite thing. I rock fly Jews. Think David Slingshot. Peace.